Up. Nyan?
Kaseri.
That's cheese. This is loud music. Okay, I fixed it. I haven't fixed the reverb though. Hi. Hello. Hi.
Cheese.
Thank you for the pants, Jack Emperor. Hello. Hi. Welcome, Hibiki. Welcome, Stew. I've already refunded the saving the kidneys because I did it before you redeemed it. I mean,
You know.
why? Welcome, Psych. Ambiguous cheese. The cheese is never ambiguous. Well, it's always questionable in the sense of like why. It's unambiguously cheese though. Well, I don't know. You might confuse it for a sheet of yellow sticky plastic. That'd be understandable. Hello. Welcome, Art Universe. Welcome, Fox. An ambiguous objective nuke. How can I resist? But yeah, no worries if you can't stay long. Thank you for stopping by. Good luck with work if you're going.
I already spent all my jokes today, so all I get is this anticlimactic TTS. Mayim.
Mayim. You're one about the doesn't it one, the doesn't it, but doesn't it. That one was good, that made me laugh. I can't believe Kat didn't laugh at that one. I was there to witness it. In Cat's stream. Welcome Hibiki, welcome Chaos, welcome Jokeber and Chaos. And welcome Hibiki and Penbu, and welcome Chaos. And welcome Fox. And Allarine and Chaos. And Jokeber and Fox. There we are. I've caught up! But not with redeems. So let me just actually hydrate and pasta check. Cheese. Why cheese? Oh my goodness. It's sleepy hours today. Holy crap. Sleepy and hay fever. There you got it. You got a double one. Complete with accidental slurp, I'm sorry. I guess it's proof that I actually did it, question mark? Yeah, also stretching. Gently places yellow floppy sticky note. Oh, that sounds cute. Sorry, I was stretching at the same time as saying oh. That reminds me of that clip of the person slowly putting a slice of cheese on the cat's head that then likes to post to me. Slash in my Discord. Rather than throwing it. It's just like... And the cat's like... It's like so questioning the person who threw it. It's very cute. I expect the person actually like, you know, laughed or something, that's why the cat suddenly looked. But it was very cute. And I appreciate it. Anyway, hello, hi. Oh my goodness. What did I miss? There were pads from Stu as well. Thank you for the pads, Stu. And thank you for the pads, Jacob, as well. I think I already said that, but anyway, hi! How are the peeps? Hope the peeps are peeping okay. Yeah, I'm very sorry if I'm gonna be sniffling and sniffing and sniffling and sniffing and falling asleep and repeating myself and not knowing what I'm doing and... Nyan. Sorry, I'm already just randomly fiddling with some wires on my desk. This doesn't bode well for the concentration of today's stream. Holy! So, I'm not entirely sure what I wanted to do on today's stream. Because there's a whole bunch of things that like, yeah, that's neat, I guess. Yeah, that's the thing that I've kind of already done. And that's the thing I tried in the past, but it didn't work. Should I try it again? And, Meh. So yeah, I guess I can update you on the stuff that I've already been doing off stream at the time that I had energy and like actually, nyan. Jeez. Fine, I won't. Welcome, Belgium. How you doing? No script. I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't know why I don't do that very often. I do the desk bump, but I rarely put the reverb on for it. That's quite satisfying. Okay, that one sounded really shit by comparison. Fill up power and unleash the Iangi. Enyang. Oh, Enyangi. I read that as Iangi, like an angry eye ball. Unleash my balls! Hi. Welcome again, Fox. I don't know why I'm saying hi again. I just wanted to interrupt the balls. Interrupt my balls. So, since the last time I showed some of this stuff on the stream, I think on the last stream where I was doing anything Pet Long Yeek related. Hi Bucky, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi! I really like the split orange and black hair. Cake jumper. It's cute. Let me sort my nose that quickly. Alright. Nose has, you know, I've restarted the like 30-second cooldown on my nose being annoying. So, last time I was streaming anything Pet Long Yeek related, it was me attempting to solder this, flipping pain in the ass to solder microcontroller onto a little breakout board. Let me whip up some photos. I do have photos of it actually. Oh, hang on a second. Before I do this, let me remove the... Actually, I'll just... there we go. The logo should be gone now. Boop. Ta-da! So yeah, on the last stream I was soldering this up. I wasn't able to completely finish it, but as you can see, I now have. I was missing one of these black strips, but I got some news. And yeah, you can't even read what the hell this is anymore because of the absolute mess I made of it with flux and stuff burning off the text on the thingy. Anyway, ta-da! It's soldered. Also, this black stuff is not flux. This is like actual burned circuit board. But somehow, despite my abuse, my accidental abuse, this thing seems to work. Despite all odds. I don't understand how these things... I haven't destroyed one yet, but... I guess that's a sign of nice quality, question mark? Hi Myriad, welcome, welcome. On the back side I soldered these things. I wanted to get this as close as possible, so I did it directly on the board with the capacitor. This is just all the power supply stuff. And then you can just connect power to any two of these pins, you know. And then you don't need like wires going over from there to the other breadboard just for providing power to all the other pins, you know. That would be messy. And so yeah, here's how stuff is connected now on my desk. There is still the other little breadboard that has the LCD on it, and the old STM32, and the little transformer. I think I have a photo of all that stuff. Do I have one of all of that stuff? All of it? I do. Okay, yeah. This is still sitting on my desk. LCD is not attached right now, but who cares? Anyway, also this orange wire is not doing the thingy anymore. Yeah, survive. How did it survive? Welcome, Pragmatic. Hi, welcome. Oh my goodness. Okay, and so the reason I know it's working is because I first of all tested the code that makes it go into like the low power stop mode, which is like the low power sleep or deep sleep. These things are called a million different words between ST and ARM. But anyway, the thing where it goes down to like a microamp or so instead of like a couple of hundred microamps. Yes, already. Yes, microamps. Yes, microamps, not milliamps. This thing's stupidly low power. It's amazing. Anyway. And that still worked. Like, I didn't change any of the code for that part. It just works, which is super cool. Like, all the register names are the same as the other STM32. It just works, trademark. Anyway, sadly, I could tell because of the, like, I was measuring the power consumption. So it was running code, and then I got it to actually do something with it on one of its outputs. I took advantage of the fact that one of these pins, unlike on the other board, which didn't have this one has one very special pin, which is a DAC output, a digital to analog output. An actual real DAC, a real analog output, sorry, that's what I meant to say. Not just PWM, and you got to be running at like a high enough clock speed for it to, you know, be pulsing fast enough for you to filter it out. No, you can actually specify any one of 4096 question mark? Values, is that 12 then? 2 to the power of 12. Yeah. Sadly, my keyboard soft didn't survive my attempt to desoldering it after I soldered it all together and it didn't work. Oh man, that sucks. Why did you need to desolder and resolder it out of curiosity? Did you like spill something on it, unfortunately? So you needed to like change some switches or something? They were like sticky or something? Or something. So yeah, the next thing I did was I sort of put back, I mean the code was still there to do this, but I sort of made the code be calling the function that plays the speech, like decodes the speech and plays it, which used to be pulsing out on a PWM pin, but I changed it so the output's on the DAC pin. And it just flipping worked! And I cannot believe this, but like the DAC was like one of the easiest little one of the many built-in peripherals on these microcontrollers to get working. I think you just had to write to one register. Oh yeah, and yeah, basically you have to turn on power to it, like, you know, the clock to it, and then like do like one register write to say, yeah, I want you to just automatically be sending out values that I send you, and do it now, for real. And that's it. Then any value you write into a register just magically comes out on one of the pins. It's quite cool. And here's the proof. Look at that. Look at that. It's an actual analog voltage coming out. This was some of the long uke speech as measured by my oscilloscope. This is a 500 millivolt. Hang on, let me just make it so you can actually see the goddamn graph lines. There we are. This is 500 millivolts for each of these horizontal lines. So it's averaging around 0, 500, 1 volt. So this is like roughly 2 volts peak to peak, sometimes going slightly over 2 volts peak to peak, which is really nice. Yes, these pixels sound like you. Well, you don't have to imagine what it sounds like, because I recorded it. You built it and didn't work, so you wanted to harvest some parts for the next attempt. I see. Here it is zoomed in, by the way. Look at this. Look at this! Beautiful! You can see it jumping between the values. The audio itself, like, this is a 12-bit DAC, but the type of audio that's decoding is 8-bit audio, so it's only gonna be 256 different values that it's jumping between. It's kind of funny, like you can see how quickly the DAC updates. Like it just snaps so quickly up to the next value and down and then up and then down. Meanwhile, I pressed the middle mouse button. Meanwhile, like and then it just has to hold that value for a long time because the actual sample rate of the audio is so low. So it's like really speedy DAC and the low sample rate audio. Looks kind of funny. Also, here's a fun screenshot. This is the same thing as this, but I zoomed in further and I didn't have the trigger on my oscilloscope set properly. So you're just seeing it like crap loads of time all just stamped on top of itself. And it looks kind of like a piano roll of like notes on the MIDI editor or something, but it's not. Anyway. What does it sound like, huh? What does it sound like? What does it sound like? Wait, do I have the actual capture still? Is this the original capture? What sample rate is this? Yeah, this is the original. Okay, so this is it's only 200 kilohertz. Not only 200 kilohertz. For an oscilloscope, that's a pretty low value. And yeah, this is just recording straight from the scope. And look, here it is on the FFT view. And as I zoom out and I zoom out, well, there is actually a bit of some interference somewhere around here, which is kind of interesting. But like, there's no super obvious fact that there's like a black line running across because it's pulse width modulation, but it's not pulse width modulation. You see the same thing repeated over and over and over again, like flipped vertically. That's aliasing. Because I don't have a low pass filter on it. Anyway, what does it sound like? Huh? Let's find out. I just skipped music by mistake instead of pausing it. It sounds like the same thing, but now it's coming out through a DAC pin instead of needing to like be filtered and stuff. Anyway, Yeah. That's it. For reference, this is white cheese, by the way. Why cheese? Why?
Cheese.
No, that's not an explanation. For reference, this is what it looks like when I'm using pulse width modulation. Look at that! Look at that! It's squealing at like 62 kilohertz when I was using pulse width modulation.
Cheese or not to cheese? That is the question.
The answer is no. Absolutely not. But also, welcome in Lane. Thank you so much for the resub.
Cheese.
Welcome in Chris. Welcome in Cowan. Hi. And Christopher, the other Chris. But yeah, Pragmatic. I hope you have plenty of parts for a future build. Oh no, it didn't work. About it. Just the controller didn't work or something. Well, she's absolutely not. But yeah, so if I slow down, so this will sound pretty much the same. Okay, this was it running. Right, this is when it was running at a slower speed. Oh, right. I see what I did there. This is when it was doing sleeps that were the wrong length. Oh, I did not get a recording of it running at the correct speed at a high sample rate. Okay, well, whatever. It's basically the same, but it's working its way through the data slower. But But the thing is, the key is that if I slow down this entire playback right now, you'll hear this awful noise. How low do I need to go? All right, 64 kilohertz. So half would be 32, a quarter would be 16, 0.2 would be like a bit lower. Let's go down to 0.15. If we slow it way down, you're gonna hear this a nasty noise. What? Okay, let's actually make it play at the slow speed though. That's the pulse width modulation that's going on. That's this squeal as it's trying to approximate the different on and off things. But if we do the same with the DAC recording, which is at an even higher sample rate recorded, so absolutely if there was squealing you'd hear it. We play that at a slow speed. There's no squeal. There's no squealing. It's just weird robo monster uke sound. There's a bit of noise coming from the oscilloscope here. That sounds a little bit like when someone spray me. Anyway, so yeah, that's just because the oscilloscope's only 8-bit. Over whatever range you have selected, you can zoom like way in vertically and then it will measure, you know, that range in 8-bit. Unfortunately, it's officially time for me to sleep right now. 9-9. Sleep well, Fox. Sleep well. Thank you for the pass. I should be betting you. Have a nice sleep, Fox. And also... for the lane. Half-Life win tomorrow. Yeah, as long as... all being well. All being well. I will have to stop. Well, I think I stopped at like 8:30 or something my time, or 9:30 your time, Myriad, right, last time? I really will, really for actually have to stop around that time, possibly for actually earlier, but we should be able to get 3 hours out of it. Nothing wrong with pulse width modulation and a frequency that high above human hearing. Nothing will surely play. Hi, Coffee. Doesn't some really high-end audio amps use it? Are you thinking of the Delta Sigma modulation, I think it's called? That works a bit differently, where effectively it's not a constant pitch. That way is kind of a bit more like error diffusion. By the way, I actually implemented error diffusion on the thingy as well, but unfortunately it's just... that has to be done by the CPU, so it's really slow, so I didn't end up using error diffusion for the audio. Whereas like the PWM is built into the hardware, you can just set a value that you want and hardware will take care of turning it on and off. Like for free, the CPU doesn't touch that, which is really cool. But yeah, in order to have the squeak high enough that you can easily filter it out so that it's not going to, you know, upset amplifiers, which it does do, then you need the CPU speed quite high. So that was the highest I could get that at around 64 kilohertz. Typically you'd want that. By the way, the Raspberry Pi, I think I mentioned this before, but the Raspberry Pi, at least the Raspberry Pi 3, it did like, it has audio output on like a headphone jack, and yeah, I once connected that to an amplifier and it very much didn't like it. And I measured the frequency coming out of it, which I expected to be 0, right? But I thought, maybe it's like, because I connected it to the amplifier and the amplifier is just immediately like a nasty, like, kind of really horrible, like shrieky, distorted noise. And I'm like, okay, this is meant to be silence. It sounds like silence when I plug in my headphones. How about I use my multimeter, because I didn't have an oscilloscope at the time. It would have been really cool to see on the oscilloscope actually, but I didn't have one at the time. But it has a multimeter which has a frequency measurement. And I measured it and it was like 800 or so kilohertz. It was like whatever the sample rate was times 16. So like it was oversampling by that higher thing. Was that work out to be? Was it 44100 or was it 48 kilohertz? No, it's too low. I guess it must have been 48 kilohertz. Oh, it's still not 800 kilohertz. I mean, it's close. Ish. Maybe I'm misremembering the number. Maybe it's time I crack out the Raspberry Pi and measure it again. And then turn it off for like another however long it's been since I last used it. If you use a low-pass filter, how close does it get to the new version? I'm not quite sure what you mean, but I did end up using a low-pass filter. And it made the amplifier happy. It was fine with it then. And because the reason why like you need such a high frequency, like so far above, like, you know, ideally like hundreds of kilohertz or something above, rather than just like 64 kilohertz, is because a simple analog RC low pass filter only removes like 6 decibels per octave. And which is like 50% of the voltage. And then so like every time you double the frequency, it's only getting like half as strong. So yeah. Oh yeah, also the point where you're measuring the cutoff frequency, it's not like it's suddenly, okay, hold on, this calls for Microsoft Paint. We have frequency and then like amplitude. What the fuck? I broke the fireworks sounds? Oh my god. Oh my god, I broke the fireworks sounds when I was... Oh my god. Wait. Didn't they play when Lane subbed? Oh my god. I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've done. I was struggling for hours trying to get this shit to work back on Unity the other day when I was adding a new notification for Throne stuff, which does have fireworks sounds. Well, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I fucked up all fireworks sounds, not just not just the subscribe ones. Oh, yeah, thank you so much, Nymphs. Thank you. Time to unsub. Fucking understandable. Jeez. Hi, Devil. I'm back. Thank you for dragging me back in. Yeah, so it's not like if your frequency is, say, like, this is going to be like a linear scale. I'm going to extend this a long way. So if you imagine this is 4K and this is 8K, I'm going to have to draw right over the flipping text. 12, 16, 20. Do your 4 times table with a weird cat on the internet. This is gonna take fucking ages, holy crap. Let's just do 1, 2, skip a few. 28, okay, you can imagine what the numbers say of this one, right? 32, 36, 40, here's 40. 4, 8, 52, 56, 60, yay! There's 64. Which looks like G4, because for some reason my hand won't move in it. There we are. Also, why does this look like Eggman? Why does this look like Eggman? Look at it. It looks like... Look at it. Look at that. Tell me that's not Eggman. Anyway. 6 decibels per octave, right? For first order, yes, for a first order. But the way you measure that is at the -3 decibel point of the curve, like the -3 decibel knee. So if you're wanting to cleanly preserve all audio up to 8 kilohertz, then what you would call a cutoff frequency actually needs to be higher than 8 kilohertz, because it's not like it suddenly goes BAM at that point. I mean, it wouldn't go down in a straight line either, because this is a linear thing. If we had a log scale, it would look more like that, but since this is not log scale, you'd get half. This is okay. You know what? Should we put a scale on this? Let's call this the 0 decibel mark. This will be -6. This will be -12. This will be -18. This will be -24. This is minus. We're not increasing in volume, we're decreasing. I'm right that it's 6 per octave and not 3 per octave, right? Am I crazy? Oh, I don't know what that was recording, but it wasn't me. Oh, it's just the music. Okay, I was trying to make a little noise to record. But, yeah, it is 6. So at this point, at the 8, it would be at -3, which is like somewhere there. Oh man, I'm making this hard for myself, aren't I? Why did I... Oh no, okay, no, this will work, this will work, this will work. Then here we'd have like... there. Which is like halfway between these two. Oh my god, this... Why did I make it so hard for myself with this scale? 16, then double that would be like there. Halfway between 18 and 24 would be 64 over here. Because it's a linear scale. So instead of going all the way up there, it would be something that starts gradually and just kind of, yeah. Something like that. And you'd want to start that higher than 8 if you want to, like somewhere around here maybe, if you want to not lose some of this. But yeah, essentially if it's a linear scale, I guess it's going to sort of look like this, kind of. Whereas if we'd use a log scale here, let's draw a log one. Because we got log on here, so if you put a log on here as well, then we'll get a more sensible thing. So if this is 8, and this is 16, and this is 32, yes. And this is 64. And this is 0, and this is -6, and this is -12, or -2, apparently I can't write. Then you'd get something that looks much more, if we had a cutoff there, then you'd get something that's more like that. Rather than that. Or certainly not like that. Anyway, TLDR, that's why you typically have your frequency way higher than the audio thing, because you actually want this to be like really decreased. And so like to be able to filter off the 64 kilohertz thing there, I would need more than a first order low pass filter. So basically that would mean that it reduces by more than 6 decibels per octave. If you have a second order filter, then it will reduce by 12 per octave. So this dot would be down there, and this dot would be down there, and this dot would be like somewhere off the scale down there, which is really nice. But to actually do that, with components in the real world, every next stage of the filter, so basically what it is a filter that filters the output of a filter. That's the second stage. And or second order. And a third order would be a low pass that filters the output of a low pass that filters the output of a low pass. And that's how it's able to get steeper all the time. The slope of the fall off looks like a line of a decibel scale, I think. If you plotted like amplitude of voltage, it'd be more curved. The slope of the fall off line looks like a line of a decibel scale. Like this? Is it when there's like a log frequency scale though? Because it's like per octave. As in like per doubling on a decibel scale. Yeah, but then you're also like this, right? Am I going crazy? Hold on, let me look up. Am I going crazy? No, it's not. I'm typing low pass filter graph. Yeah. This doesn't have measurements of... Yeah, there we are. Like this, for example. Can I just get the image, please? And not all your pop-ups? Thank you. Yeah, it's like a straight line when the frequency is... Oh, shit! It's even worse. It's not just when... Right! It's not just a doubling like this. Well, I guess it's kind of the same, actually. Yeah, but they're marking it on every 10, so it's actually even worse. Yeah, I should have... Well, no, this should still be accurate though, right? Hang on. Okay, let me measure what they're measuring here. The minus 3 decibel knee here is at 1. So that means at 10, that should be... No, at 2, that should be minus 6. Let me put this on pen. Holy crap, I'm glad I just made the stream title be like, I'm not beholden to anything. What is going on? Where's my line tool? So, like, the minus 6 decibel thingy should be at 2 hertz. Does this look like minus 6? Yes. Then 3, 4 should be minus... wait, that should be minus 9, shouldn't it? Because this is already minus 3. Am I getting confused here? Yeah, it doesn't look like minus 9 there, does it? That looks more like minus 6. Then 4 hertz? Should be 6 lower than this. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That kind of does look right. Whoa, Sleep! Hi! Welcome, welcome, welcome! 5, 6, 7, 8. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. This should be minus 18 decibels. Cheese. That looks about right.
Formaggio.
Hi! Welcome, welcome, welcome! Welcome, thank you very much for the follow. Hi, Sokana. Why is everyone throwing cheese so much? Help! Decibels is logarithmic, yes, Coffee, but the frequency is also needs to be logarithmic like this in order for it to look like a straight line. Otherwise, this would look like...
Cheese.
Like this. Oh my god, I cannot draw like this. Like...
Cheese.
Like this. Oh my god, I can't! Stop! Stop!
Cheese.
Stop throwing cheese at me so much! What is going on? Hi, Nymph! Are you just trying to use up all of your cheese at once? I'm gonna shout out Sleepy Kill Coda before any more chaos can happen.
Shot.
Ah! Welcome, Sleepy. How are you doing? Pat pat. I did say that this is intended for mature audiences. And oh, mature cheese! I see! I thought you were meaning that sample third iteration planning and some initial work. That sounds interesting. I thought you were going to say that throwing cheese is mature. I would say it's pretty immature to throw cheese at me. Anyway, hello. Ah!
Cheese.
I think this is correct. I think this and this are the same. It's just that here they're drawing up 10 decibels down each time and the multiplying by 10 here. Oh, it's still not quite the same, is it? I mean, it's roughly. What am I doing wrong?
Tiri.
What? What's it? I swear. Would this be the 0 decibel point? Would that be like half? No, half a hertz would be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 there. I swear. Anyway, how's it going? How's it going, Sleep? How did your stream go? Welcome in, Ghost. Welcome in, the Xerox529, Nymph. And Soccer Now, hi, throwing cheese. Yeah, why? Pat the Ghost is away. Are you spraying the cheese off me as well? Hi. Welcome. Soundboard for what the... By the way, hi Azrael as well. Hello. Soundboard for the... Was that a soundboard for a game, did I see? Was it for like a streaming setup? I didn't quite... I should have paid more attention, but 9, 10, 20, so 16 would be like, I don't know, somewhere around there. So this should be 6 decibels lower again. So that's 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I guess I might have been a bit off for this. Somewhere around there. So that's 16. So 32. This is the 20 mark. This is the 30 mark. So somewhere around there would be 32. So this should be minus 30. Oh! Pixel perfect. Okay. So this is actually identical, I think, to the... I made something around the minus 3 decibel mark was throwing me. But, yeah. I think this is, like, identical to this. I'm just understanding how to handle the minus 3 decibel point. But anyway, it is dropping by 6 decibels every doubling of the frequency. So it's halving the thingy, every thingy of the thingy. Mind you, there's also like power and then there's the other thing, right? There's like... Yeah, I don't remember. This is minus 20 per decade. Is that an equivalent to minus 6 per octave? I don't know, is there any way to convert that? Shit, we're getting into actual maths now. Holy crap. So this is saying minus 20 for every multiplying by 10. Is that the same as minus 6 for every multiplying by 2? It sounds about right. Because 2, 2.5, 5, 10. That's 2 doublings. And 6 to 12, 12 to 24 would be 2 doublings, which is a bit over 20. I don't know. Is this the same or not? I'm flipping now. Anyway. Soundboard for streaming setup. Ah, interesting. I finally integrated a very half-baked visualization as support for when someone uses a sound alerts thingy on my stream, which I'd basically done a long time ago, but I wanted to finish it and make it look not crap. And the other day I was like, nah, screw it. It's been sitting here doing nothing for so long. Let me just actually make it do something. And then the fact that it looks so bad might, you know, and that it's now on my stream, might give me the motivation to actually make it look good. You're doing a bit of conlang and you're doing mathematics, I see. I am scared of maths. I don't know how I got onto this state. Oh, I do remember how I got onto this actually. You hit a wall. Wait, what? You saw, but I hit a wall pretty hard last night with my bevy stuff. I'm looking to see. It's not the rules to throw cheese nymph. It's absolutely not the rules. I don't see you saying that anywhere. You had a little think. Cheese. That was me. Had a little think about what to do for the iteration. Fixed source copy? Because I broke with Android 15. Android? Wait, what is this?
Cheese.
That was interestingly spoken.
Cheese.
Wait, so you're making like an app that people can use on their phones to play sounds on your stream or something? Or like a web page or something? That's really cool. What the hell? Personalized site for interaction with just your stream. That reminds me of some of the stuff that Clunk's doing. Using on your tablet, mostly for you. Oh, okay. Right, it's for your use rather than the viewer's use. I see. That's still really cool though. Pads though. The 0x539. I've never even used Bevy, so I wouldn't be able to offer help. I'm very sorry. 32. Hang on, I'm going to keep on doing this. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 64 would be like, I don't know, somewhere around there. Where's my line? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, somewhere around there would be 64. So this should be minus 36. That looks right. I'm gonna stop doing this now, even though it's very satisfying. Yeah, you screw it. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna keep drawing blue lines. Welcome to my blue line drawing stream. That's literally all it is. Thank you for the pets, dude. Thank you for the hydration and the posture check as well. I should say hi and introduce myself. You found yourself in a domain so advanced and specific there's no one who can help. Alkaline uses Bevy a bunch. Do you know Alkaline VT? Oops, why am I still holding the bottle? Get out of here. Let me posture check as well. Yeah! In passing? Huh. Let me. I can't remember how her thing is. Is there an underscore? There's no underscore in Alkaline VT. Always gotta see if someone's an underscore gang or not before doing the shout out. Possibly shouting out an imposter among us. Anyway, yeah. Oh, she was using she's using Godot there, but I swear she's done a bunch of heavy stuff in Rust as well. There she is. She typically does really long streams as well. 3 hours is a short one for her. Which I'm kind of glad about, that she's not, like, streaming for 11 hours. You know, for her health, but... Bevodo? Wait, can you use Bevy and... Wait, aren't they, like... trying to achieve the same thing? They'd be, like, rivals to each other. I'm gonna start drawing the lines the other way around. 50, 45 would be there, 42 and a half, so 42 would be, like, somewhere around there. So this should be pointing to... This should be pointing to what? This is 128? Well, that's not right at all, is it? Oh yeah, wait, hang on, we're suddenly changing scale from 100 to 1000. So this is 200. So 128 being there. Actually, does look believable. 48 should be 256. Somewhere around there. So we're looking for half between 2 and 3. Which that is. Anyway, yeah, alright, I'm closing this now, even though I'm quite happy with how this looks. Gone! I'm even gonna close my own one. Gone! I'm even gonna press Control W on this tab. I'm moving it out of view before I do that. I'm scared of what's gonna appear. Okay, where are you? That's very logarithmic of the scale. Yeah! Anyway, we don't need to worry about that now. That is such a thing I'm so happy about. I do not need to do any flipping low-pass filtering of the output signal. However, can you imagine for a moment that Ambiguous gave me head pads? Thank you. Thank you for the head pads, Eeg. Welcome, Eeg. How's the Eeg? Okay, here's the thing. The thing I'm using to make voice on the STM32, that Talkie library. Oh wait, let me introduce myself. Hold on. Hello, hi, welcome. I have a low frame rate, and I'm just a weird cat. And this is kind of going to be a project for making a little pet, electronic pet thing, like a Tamagotchi, but cuter and with less potential for abusing the character. She will not be able to die by your care. What's the expression? Negligence? Question mark? Doing well, hope your day is wonderful and isn't too hot. It's not too, I mean, it's hot in my room right now. As you can see by my avatar, starting to get some heat haze, but this happens around this time of day. And this time of year especially. Protect you, hell yeah. I'm glad you're doing well as well. Look at this amazing thing. Oh, never mind, this is actually the amazing thing. Look, she's wider here. These are like fat pixels. Because, this is 1:1 pixels, but the the actual LCD is not. The actual LCD has kind of slightly tall pixels. Can you see? They're like a little bit taller than they are wide. Yeah, so, and there's going to be like speech involved, which is why I was showing that graph and I was showing this recording from it, which is just the same hard-coded glitchy recording I've been using for a bunch of things. And that was it outputting. Anyway, so that library that's doing the voice is No, coffee. I understand what you mean, but no, that was the thing I was worried about as well. But I want her to be able to fend for herself as well. She'll just be much slower at it. So like, if she's hungry, she'll slide and eventually find food, hopefully. And like, if it's raining and something, she'll take shelter from it, but it might take her a while to get there, right? And you, the proud owner of a pet long uke, might feel the urge to be able to help her out. And you'll be able to. Bevy internals. Oh my goodness, plus advanced graphics programming. I'm sorry for you. I don't know how to help. Non-square pixels indeed. So the Talkie library, the thing that's synthesizing the voice, because this feature is so heavily compressed, it is basically a synthesizer that's decompressing it. It's has like something that generates a sawtooth-like wave and noise-like wave, and then does filtering on them to try to approximate the original sounds, which means we can just go into the synthesizer and say, hey, I know this decoded speech is telling you that the pitch should be this, this, and this, and this, and this. But you know, you're just gonna sit on this pitch instead, and we'll just set it to hard-coded pitch basically, and we'll let everything else run, let the filters run according to the speech, but just keep the pitch, you know, frozen at some value or just overridden. And that way, we could just keep playing the like a sample that says "nyam," but we can be changing the pitch. And that way, we could build in like a little music editor into it. You can put different notes, and then the notes will affect the pitch of the synthesizer, and you'll just get like nyan, 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 or something, and you'll be able to make little nyan music and stuff. Is a fun little idea. And then I thought, well, entering notes and stuff, that, you know, I was thinking about how, like, a user interface for entering the notes, you know, like moving up and down and left and right on a piano roll and something, and being able to hear the notes and stuff. And I was like, well, what if you could just, you know, hum with your real live voice the note that you want, and it has like a little mic built in, and it just runs pitch detection. You know, that famously completely solved problem that's absolutely not subjective, and there aren't many papers written on different algorithms for doing it. Yeah, if we just run pitch detection, then that'd be kind of cool, right? And then I was like, well, what if instead of just humming like one note and then having to move to the next one and another one and another one, what if you could hum an entire melody? And then she just repeats it back, but in her nyans, of course. She, like, the pitch is extracted basically, and then it just... I'm using the word just a lot, and it's making it sound a lot simpler than it is, but yeah. Anyway, TLDR, I started trying to design a pitch detection algorithm that is really fast. Typically the way that pitch detection is done, so yeah, zero crossings can be involved. Let me just show you very quickly why that is not good enough. Unless it's like a pure sine wave. It is absolutely okay for a sine wave if you introduce a little bit of a hysteresis around the zero crossing mark. But let me just actually record the correct thing and not the music this time. Nyan. Here's a nyan. Let's listen to just the channel that is my mic and not the channel that's not plugged in. Nyan. Unfortunately, This is crossing the 0 threshold many times. This is one cycle, by the way, here. If we loop this, that's my voice. Mid-E. Here it is in more of the ah phase, I think. Oh, not quite. There, that's more in the ah phase. So it's like, when's my paper coming out? I don't know. So yeah, unfortunately, this is one cycle and it's actually crossing the 0 mark, like 1, 2, 3. Wait, which way are we going? Let's go upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in one cycle there. Which is going to be entirely, the number of times it's going to cross in one cycle is going to be based on like the formants of your voice. So like the resonant noise, like what vowel sound you're making basically. And how manly or babyish your voice sounds, to put it another way. So basically the fundamental pitch of the voice is this low band here. But then there are all these harmonics on top. And you can kind of see there's like a region here that's like louder than this region here and stuff, and it's thanks to these. In fact, this one is, this is 1 times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 6th band here is very high in energy. I wonder, was it mostly 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, so that is, it's like there are 6 very easily visible cycles, which is probably because the 6th harmonic is very loud. But it's just, it doesn't have to be that. If we zoom all the way, if we go all the way out to when the part is happening, where it's going to be much closer to a sine wave, like here at the end, then it's no longer the 6th one that's really loud. It looks like it's only repeating like if I'm looking for like a cycle that's repeating faster than this, I'm seeing a big thing, another thing, another thing, and another thing before it repeats. So if I were to look at this in the spectrogram, I'd expect the 4th harmonic to be really loud here. And would you look at that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at this really, really dark black line here. Anyway, so we can't use 0 crossing, unfortunately. We could if like we required people to whistle, because whistling is kind of closer to a sine wave. Let me whistle and see how sine wavy that looks. Let's see. Yeah, oh my goodness, look at that. 0 crossing would work very nicely on a whistle. Holy, look how clean and easily detectable that is. Sheesh. What a beautiful whistle, if I do say so myself. Unfortunately, I couldn't hold the pitch super stable. it's going up and down a little bit. It's not a pure sine wave, like there's a little really quiet extra harmonic there, but that wouldn't mess up the 0 crossing detection much, I think. I'm back with some much needed food. Hell yeah! What, you don't talk in a sine wave? Should I show you what it sounds like if I talk in a sine wave? And now we filter it so that there is only a sine wave. So where can I filter below? We need like a stupidly strict filter above like 350 hertz roughly. So let's low pass this with a stupidly strict filter around 350. And then again and again and again and again and again and again. And now we end up with just basically this sine wave. It looks like this now. And it sounds like that. It sounds like this. Yeah. Who would have expected it? It sounds like a sine wave. Cross mid detection. Welcome, Myriad. Oh, wait, I think I already said hi, didn't I? Why am I saying welcome again? It's whale talk? Aren't they like higher pitched? What happens if we try and increase the pitch of this? How well is the grainy pitch shift gonna work on this? Not too bad. That's a bit weird. It's a little bit weird. I just flipping palmed the enter key by mistake as I was moving to my mouse. Oh, that's... Anyway, so there are other methods of pitch detection. There are ones that involve looking at this, like the spectrum view, which is called the frequency domain. And there are ones that work looking at the waveform, which is called the time domain. Looking at the frequency domain basically requires doing a Fourier transform. And that's kind of out of the question for running on the microcontroller. Like, I could do it, probably. I don't think it would be fast enough. And frankly, I think it's kind of overkill. And FFT is only the first part of the pitch detection algorithm. You then have to like try and work out what the common, what's the word? The lowest common multiple, I guess, of the loudest frequency is. And that tells you what the root is. So the root here is like right around 230 here. If you look at the one above, it's going to be exactly double there. So around 460. And then the next one up is going to be exactly 3 times the bottom one. So 690, etc. all the way up. Anyway, so I'm not going to do that. And the time domain one that I was familiar with, which I've implemented before, in fact, I've even shown on stream, I think, a long time ago. I was using it for tempo detection in that thing I showed a long time ago, rather than like pitch detection. But it's basically the same thing, just on a way longer time scale. It's called autocorrelation. I think I was waiting for this, but what do you need pitch detection for? Well, imagine if you could like hum a little melody to your pet long uke and she could nyan the melody back at you. Wouldn't that be amazing? The fourth trigonometric function, uke. I'm getting flashbacks to Clunk doing the FFT in Scheme for like 8 hours and it didn't really work. So, well, if I were going to be doing the FFT, holy crap, I would not be trying to implement that from scratch myself. So, screw that. That's far too much mathematics. Oh my goodness. There are already made libraries for calculating the FFT, and obviously Clunk knows this. He was just trying to actually, have the satisfaction and of doing it himself and learning things, I'm sure. The learning is the process. But, that was what he was after. But all I'd be caring about is the end result if I were doing the FFT. I don't even know enough maths to try to even be able to optimize the FFT at all. And frankly, it probably already is optimized, right? People have probably already tried to optimize the FFT libraries, but anyway. Was it Scheme? Was it Scheme? Was it Scheme? What Scheme? Spinning it, clunks. Lisp is going to. Oh. What is the difference between Lisp and just Lisp? By the way, I love the... the lack of the fireworks!
That guy. Euclid. Don't open it, her brain will fall out.
Euclid? Oh no. God, the lack of the fireworks bugs me so much. I'm gonna get Unity loading right now. I need to fix this. I don't know what I did to break it, but I need to fix it. The hell did I do? The hell did I do? I didn't just... Oh my. Thank you for the saving the kidneys. I don't need to right now. But I'm going to keep the redeem enabled. And maybe next hour I will. I'm going to refund you though, for now. I wonder if I just kept the script disabled when I was testing something. I didn't want that script to keep firing. The one for playing the fireworks sounds. Anyway, we're gonna be waiting for Unity for a while, so we can do something else in the meantime. Thank you for the positive check on hydration as well. Happy July 5th. Happy welcome. I don't know why I'm saying welcome. Cabbage, thank you so much for the resub. I'm sorry, the fireworks in the resub sound are broken right now. Ah!
Cheese.
And it's since I added support for the throat notification sound. The throatifications. Oh wait, that sounds different. Never mind. Your Cabbage, I just realized. Your message.
Euclid? I've heard of that guy. Euclid. Don't open it. Her brain will fall out.
You are implying that Uke has a brain. That's quite the assumption to make. Anyway, what I really like is the way that you can just like choose a part of this sound. What's this part? Fine, this is a very nasal part. And if you just look at this and you just loop like the same part, you'll just get the perfect loop of voice. It's probably best to do it around the zero crossing mark. Or part where it's changing slowly, I should say.
Moody don't. Moody mayhaps. Moody do. One. Threadman. A new.
Mwah. There we are. That sounds more correctly horrible. Obvious Yukian cat. Hyphen. Not hyphen. Hyphen. E minus? It's still going, by the way. Sawtooth Uke. Yeah, kinda. Okay, it's appeared now. It's on my other monitor. Which part is this? And okay. This is a bit of a nasal which is a bit of a weird thing to say because is entirely a nasal sound anyway, but anyway, autocorrelation is basically doing what my brain is doing right now to see these loops. It's like it's looking at this and it's saying, I'm noticing some repetition here. This part here sure looks an awful lot like this part here, even though they're not going to be absolutely perfectly identical. I love how fast Unity is. It's loading a project from a hard drive as well. I don't know how much faster it would be if it was loading it from an SSD, but... Wait. Is that the O nose? Hi, Goldilocks as well. Welcome, welcome. Your throatification. What does that mean? What does that mean? Anyway, so here's how autocorrelation works as a simplification, but it's not really that much of a simplification because this is basically it. Here's the sound. By the way, typically you're only going to be wanting to know what the pitch of a sound is at a specific moment in time, right? It's not like you want to know what the pitch of this sound is. You know? Because it's changing all the time, so it's like, what's the pitch of... would be a much more realistic question to ask. Like what is that pitch? Well, that's a kind of satisfying loop. There's no like sharp click. I must have accidentally chosen yeah, right around this similar position on the waveform. So what you do is, let's take this. You want to know what the pitch of that is? Copy. So this is now what we're working with, just this sound. And I'm going to zoom in. I mean, amplify it. Now it sounds like that. So it's called autocorrelation because you see how well it correlates with itself. Here's two copies of itself. Bam! It correlates perfectly. Who would have thought? Which is a really useless thing because they have no offset, right? So what you're actually going to see is when does it start to correlate with itself well again as you start shifting it over, right? Like our human brains can see, oh, here, they're lining up well again at this point. Look, we got a spike down there, we got a spike down there. I didn't quite. And quite eyeball it correctly. Somewhere right around there, right? What is it at?
Cheese.
What is the offset between Yuki and cheese? Like a couple of millimeters right now? Maybe it just kind of sounds louder. Actually, if you invert one... Ah, you know what? This is actually a good demonstration of how autocorrelation works. So... Ah, wait, this is a really good demonstration. Oh my goodness. Okay, so basically what you do... I just realized what I can do to make this work well. Basically, the way you're doing this is you're looking at the difference between this position here and the same position on the... Like, so this is like the offset one. Let's call this offset and call this original. So basically, you're looking at the difference between this at this point here on this, the shifted version of the signal, and this version here, and then you're looking at the difference here and here, and the difference here and here, and you like keep moving along one time, and there and there and there and there, and blah, 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 blah. Same position between each, and then you move the position of both along. And then when you're at the end, you have like a total error, and you'd probably want to divide that by the total number of readings you took. And then finally, the number you get at the end there is a score of how well that one single offset works. And then you do this. And you run the whole thing again, and you get the score of how that good that offset is. And then you do it again, shift it one more, and one more, and one more, and one more. And that's why autocorrelation is far too fucking slow to be doing on this microcontroller. That's a shitload of subtraction and ray accesses and stuff, and you gotta do it blah 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 many times. Like typically dozens or hundreds of times, depending on the sample rate and the range of pitches that you're wanting to detect. Am I gonna flip it until it gets quiet? Yeah! But I am not gonna do that like hundreds or dozens or hundreds of times. So yeah, effectively, you're subtracting one from the other, and the way you can do that is to, on Audacity, would be to invert. So now this is basically a positive signal, and this is like a negative signal, and you can mix them together, and you get the combined result. And these are not properly aligned. I specifically made them not aligned properly, and you can see there's a lot of stuff left when they're mixed together. It sounds like this. Kind of similar to before. But as we get very close, this is not quite aligned, but it's like nearly. Let's see how close we can get without it being properly aligned. Okay, no, this is not properly aligned, but it's way closer. Mix. Look, look. There's a lot of quietness in the middle, and it sounds like this now. Which, funnily enough, there's like most of the pitch is gone from it, and just the ah of my breath is left. And if we shift it even slightly closer, boop. I think it's still not perfectly aligned. Yeah, I would say it's not properly aligned yet still. And we mix them together. And it's even quieter! And hold on. Well, let me go by this pitch. Let me go by this bitch. Sorry. I just had to come out. And now we mix them together, and oh, this actually is not going properly low. Ah, right, it's because the pitch is changing over time, isn't it? At this specific point right here where I was doing the aligning, which is right here, they're really well aligned. But because the pitch is not exactly the same all the way through, they're becoming a bit less aligned. This is why you look for like the lowest score overall. If I were to have done this with like an actual truly identical thing, like or if I just even try and keep a consistent tone instead of playing like saying a sentence. Let me just try. Let me look at here to see where I was being consistent, because I can't hold a note to save my life apparently. Where was I being consistent with pitch the most? That looks... let's do this region right there. I'm curious now. I'm nerd sniping myself. Snipe ma. Here's the original. Here's the shifted version, except it's not shifted. Here's the actual shifted version. Here's the inverted shifted version. And I'm gonna line them up as well as I can. Oh, just one. That looks fairly aligned. Is that properly aligned? Do you reckon one more? Is that aligned? Or is that aligned? That's more aligned, I think. Mix! Okay, that is definitely a quite a region in the middle there. Compared to that, the original. Anyway, that's autocorrelation. It's too slow, I tell you. So how about I show you what I actually did? And then blah blah blah. Great explanation. Look, you come to this place for only the best of explanations. Should have AVX instructions in your microcontroller. Yeah, that's really nice. The way I originally. Do I have in recent files list? I do not. This one? I think codec 2 finds the picture frames in real time on some STM32 if the LGPL. Does it do it at 2 megahertz though? I'm willing to do this at like a really low thingy. I don't even know if mine would be fast enough, by the way, which I haven't got to yet. But yeah, I did use SIMD thingies here. This is the sum of absolute differences. And yeah, so I was doing some SIMD stuff on my pitch detection thingies. This is... Oh, okay, it's just defined there. SIMD's nuts! I know. Low bitrate voice codec developed for open source digital radio communication. Ah, okay. Wait, they literally just named it codec 2? It's kind of funny though. It's kind of funny. Should we try and fix the fireworks for a sec because the Unity's finished loading and I don't want anyone else to give me money and not receive fireworks. Okay, where are we? It's under notification, notify, sub, PS own sub base. Wait, this, how does this, okay, I need to see how this works. I'm not sure how the fireworks for, I know how the fireworks for the follow notification works. There's this script here called particle system emit sound. Why do they call it emit sounder instead of sound emitter? Huh? Pass uke, please. Ugh, what? Okay, hold on. I need to change my streaming category as well to software and game dev at this point. I think we're firmly in the category of software and game dev. Doing what? Who knows? We're talking about it at least. Hold on. Software and game development. No, what are you doing? Don't do it, Ascento. There are no fireworks. I'm trying to fix the fireworks. Ah, the fireworks sounds. Thank you, though. It emits sounds. True. Thank you very much for the resub, Ascento. How dare you? How dare you not accept my fireworks? Anyway, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Vectma. Yeah, I'm not sure how the sub base. As in own subscription. Base of the firework, or rather than star of the firework. Anyway, I'm not sure how it works, so I'm gonna look at my own code. Let's see. Brace yourself. Or should I say base yourself? Why am I wide? Okay, so I want show new own sub. How does this work? No definition found. That's because it hasn't finished loading and it can't just search its own thingy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, how does it sound work? Oh my god! Robo, no! I'm trying to fix all the fireworks sounds. Ah! Thank you very much for the resub. The fireworks sounds are broken right now. Thank you though. Thank you for the resub. Right, why is this fading? We have...
Baby pass.
Peace.
Bees. So it looks like it. Oh, this is before I made this into a generalized function, I guess. Yeah, this one's a little bit more complicated because I have to deal with TTS and spawning emotes and stuff. So I reckon it's all going to be done by the animation. So let's look at the animation. There, what am I doing? Animation, here we are. Own sub appear? I wonder if it used to be done. No, it can't have been because there's nothing on here. There's no component on here. Notify bubble. Ah! Yeah, these sounds work just fine. Thank you, Robo. You just got System Shock PTSD from that sound. This one, I don't know. I haven't played it, I'm afraid. Also, scan train incoming. Sheesh. Alright, where the hell is it? PS host, particle system. Raid host. You remember you used to be able to host people? Yeah, I had a notification of when people hosted me, and it's still here in the Unity project, even though it'll never be used. Shout out, gift sub. Wait, why is gift sub name outlet like turned on? Oh, this one's not though. Sounds. Got the follow. The follow sound. Can we hear it when I just click on some of these? Can we not hear it? Nope.
I want my beepy bus, beepy bus, beepy bus, beepy bus, beepy bus, beepy bus, beepy bus.
There you are, every conceivable pronunciation of that word. Hope you like to choose your sounds based on how their waveforms look. Oh, you can hear it if you click the waveform. Sheesh, that's loud when the volume's not turned down.
So bus.
There is no firework sound! Stop doing it! But thank you very much, Azrael. Although she is bass fish, not bass sound, yeah. Gift sub. Glint. Oh! Oh! This is a sound that only the true OGs will remember. Well, I can't get it to play from the beginning for some reason. Hold on. Where are sounds? Sounds? Sounds, not sound alerts. Notify bubble sounds? Where is it? Old? I'm trying to click old. I swear to God, I cannot actually click things. There we are. Oh! Wait, there are different sounds as well. Only the true OGs will remember this sound. This used to be my full eye sound. Before I made my own. We've got an old appear and disappear sounds. What are these? Oh! Okay. I'm not even sure if that was ever used. I mean, it was used as like a temporary placeholder. I was trying to summon the train demon. You did! Congratulations! Flipping... Wait, does this mean that it has reached level 1 or it has not reached level 1 and this is level 0? Is that what they're saying? Like, what are they saying? Like, if I compare this to my temperature thingy, like 94% dead or whatever. 11% dead. So I am actually... Wait, how does my thing work again? Let me look at my thermometer. Okay, I am fully dying and I'm not fully dead yet. For a minute I thought glint was the sound of your bell. 94% scammed? Yeah, I guess so. Hear all the individual different crackling sounds. Did you know there are 10 different crackling sounds that can play? Did you know there are 5 different fireworks sounds that can play? Can I not click the 5th one? Okay, there it is. I was kind of proud of these sounds. I made all these sounds. I never had a dedicated sound for hosting. I think I just used the raid sound. Oh yeah, that sound. I wonder if the fireworks sounds work on that. Wait, hold on. I can literally just run the thing here and then trigger the thing with the animator. I don't even need to look at the code and go diving. I'll just force it to happen and observe. More like 0 fireworks sounds I can play. Look, they play for a throne notification and they probably play for a tip notification. Oh my god. Shush. Ah! Oh. Computer's dying. Okay, so here we are. It's currently sitting in the ready state. I don't know if you can read any of this ridiculously tiny thing. This used to have a cleaner layout until I added a bunch of new ones and I couldn't be bothered to make the arrows look neat. Okay, so we're sitting in the ready state right now. How can we shrink to make this bigger? I swear to god, I'm failing to click. Okay, so the follow still worked, right? If we just turn this on. Huh? Oh, did I accidentally... Hold on a second, I think I accidentally reassigned the follow sound when I was fucking around with this. Yeah, I literally changed it to glint. Whoops, let me press control so did it change back. Oh, right, I forgot that Unity counts touching things in the browser as making a change. Okay, it should be undone now. Why is it still glint? Oh, I wasn't fully undone. Let's just hold Control Z for a long time. And I hope it doesn't undo things that happened before this Unity was launched. Okay, follow is back to follow now. There you go. Let Autoyuki speak? Absolutely not. Silence, Roboyuki. Or Autoyuki. Roboyuki. If you open the project file, it's likely changed already somehow. It probably is. Anyway, it's undone now. What is this face? What is that? That's a good face. That's a good emote. What the fuck? I need to check that person's emotes. The face of a Unity dev. Flipping accurate! The other night, or day, it ended up being nighttime by the time I finished. Scrunch. Alright, where were we? Notification, notify. Okay, follow ad. Follow appear, disappear, sorry, is what the AD stands for. Okay, that works. By the way, it's actually broken with the... cheese. Why? How'd they double cheese me? Yeah, it's meant to play a sound on every little firework that's being shot at. I'm not quite sure why it doesn't. I swear it used to. Raid. And own sub. So own sub did work at first. We've got to wait for this to finish so I can come out of that and then go. Wait. Wait, it didn't play. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's start from scratch again. If it's the first notification that plays, does it play the sounds? Because I swear... Oh, Unity's just crashed. Amazing. Yeah, Unity's great. I love it. Fuck off. And now come back. Speaking of your face when using Unity, where's that scrunch, huh? Let me give you some pats, Robe. Yeah, it's whenever I'm messing around with anything that uses the particle system, it seems to be very unstable. Anyway. Pat. Pats for the robe. I don't know why the hell it is that unstable, but apparently it is. I don't know why. Anyway, it should be faster to reload this time. Okay, it's back. That's roughly how long it would have taken, I guess, to load from an SSD, because it's all in memory. Alright. Here we go again. Where is it? Notify layout, notify animator, and yeah, just run. Whoa! Thank you very much for the huge emote, Robo. Why are the transitions so good? Shut up. Not you, Ashing. Welcome, Ashing. Thank you. I don't know, because I tried to make them good. I don't know. Look at all these errors coming from a web page that is... Look at this! This is being returned by a server by the way. This is like, if you were to go to a web page, this is either the sound alerts page or the throw notifications page. This is like either the throwing website or the sound alerts website, just throwing out these JavaScript errors into the console. Anyway, don't care about those too much. It's not unstable, you just need a better PC. Oh my god. Okay, let's just trigger the own sub sound as the very first one. Did the fireworks work? Or did I just completely not realize that the sound fireworks didn't work? They didn't work! Oh fuck, that means I don't know how it... I mean... I could just use the same thingy. Maybe I accidentally deleted it the other day. Maybe it should have been using this thing called Auto PS Sound Player, whatever the fuck it was called. The one for follows. Yeah, here, no, that's not it. Sounds. There it is. Oh, let me just copy this. Let's copy and paste it on here. And change the sounds. That's not what I wanted to do. And paste the sounds onto, or change all of these sounds from the crackle sounds. By the way, it's a huge pain in the ass if you want multiple audio sources on one thing. All you need to do is like go to where the sounds are here, and then just, you know, just drag them all on to a thing, and it'll make all those audio sources, right? Right? No. For every single one of these that is dropped on, it will change the first, and only the first, audio source on the game object. So if I drag 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 onto this, not that one, this, it's replaced the first one with 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and now all the rest are still crackle. Oh, Unity. I didn't even add any new ones either. So I'll manually go through one by one. I don't even know what the volume of these originally was, by the way. So hopefully these won't be too loud. Or maybe the sounds are just going to be loud from this point on. Maybe we're just going to have loud fireworks. Maybe that'll teach me for breaking it. 2, 3, 4. Why is it... When did it reopen all of the other ones? 5. No, we don't need anything else. We don't need that. Okay, now it's closed the other ones. What is going on? Remove. Now it's opened these ones. What the fuck are you doing, Unity? With all due respect. What is it? What is it doing? It just keeps on randomly closing and opening these ones and later ones. Okay, 9. Be gone. Okay, there we are. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm just gonna press save at this point. Why is it all manual? How is Unity kind of horrible? Yeah, I don't know why in this case. On particle die, notify PS follow. Okay, so that's not what we want. We want this one. And yeah, they should be not playing on awake because it's going to be PS emit sound. So what this does is it gets information about the particle system and sees when each particle should appear. And is this actually going to work? Thank you for the pads. Let's see if this works. Feels like random sort. Let's see if this set of open panels is what the user wanted. Kinda. If this works, then I expect that I accidentally
It's only animating.
deleted this the other day. Let's just see what happens. Boop. Okay, it did work, but it started playing the sounds immediately rather than after the initial gap. Interesting. Okay, how's the animation controlling this? Thank you for the pats. what it does is it turns on. Thank you for the pats. Oh my goodness. Well, this is far too many pats. Hi X, welcome. Hi Maple, by the way, as well. Welcome. That's a lot of pats. That's too many pats, to be honest. For me, I mean, I didn't deserve them is what I mean. I'm happy to receive them, but... So the thing appears, and then it looks like it turns on the fireworks, and they begin. Oh, it's probably the heat haze. I was like, what is this weird Moire effect happening over here? On these things. Yeah, it's the heat haze effect. Why can't I click and drag? Okay. Gotta click like the exact right pixel, even though the resize thing appears in this full range. If you click somewhere, like there, then it doesn't let you. Or you click there, it doesn't let you. Ah, you thought you could drag because we showed the arrows up. Now you can. Thank you for the pass, Linted. Welcome. You deserve all the head pencil. Thank you. Okay, so the moment this gets turned on here, that's when the fireworks shoot up, and it's when... Oh, wait. All I need to do is this, right? It's on particle die. On particle die, right? I'm pretty sure it's on particle die. How does on particle die get used? How do I do that? On particle die. Oh, we just add the lifetime. Oh, what the hell? Past Yuku was like kind of clever sometimes. Whatever happened to Past Yuke, man? Whatever happened to Past Yuke?
You've answered now.
Shush. Where were you when Particle was dying? Unity aim trainer? Yeah, kind of is, right? Hi Lunk. Welcome. Alright, let's trigger it. Do we get the sounds now? At the correct time? Ah! I fixed it! Okay, now I'm very paranoid that all the other notifications are also messed up, so let's test all the other ones while we're here. It'd be silly not to, right? NASCAR is in your front yard? What? Thank you for the hydration, Lunk. Haven't even done it yet, Lunk. What the hell? Oh, because I hydrated, I guess. Oh my god, the double pats and everything that's happening. Also, there you go. And thank you for the posture checker center as well, and the pants. Ah! Oh my god. Oh, I'm going for full chaos right now. You have a 319 acre front yard, and they are street racing in / around it. How big is an acre? It sounds big. What is an acre? Oh! Okay. So what just happened is you requested evil, and one of the setups turned on the evil effect, and then the other setup immediately turned back off the evil effect. So I'm going to manually turn it on for you. Ah!
Alright, how... Okay, what is 1 acre to, I don't know, like... Square... Yeah, sure, square meter, sure. What the fuck? That's like 4 square kilometers! Sheesh. Suffering from success, I think. Okay, let's test the other ones. Bits. Well, we already know bits works. Gift sub. Oh, this is not going to be easily testable. Oh, but gift sub doesn't have fireworks. Gift sub has the things that fly out.
The joke is...
what is that? Oh, I gotta turn it back
off now. Okay, the same happened for retro. Okay, do we manually turn on retro? Jeez. There you go. Okay, bits. We already know that works. And it's not gonna do anything because there are no bits to throw. Okay, gift sub. And it's not gonna do anything because there are no gift subs to show. Host! This is never gonna happen because Twitch removed hosting, but hey, when Twitch had hosting. This is what the hosting notification used to look like.
Cheddar.
Same sound as the other one, but look, it's got like these four sort of candles of things. Anyway, that's what it used to look like, and silver. Why is it only half retro? Half retro? Wait, what do you mean half? What do you mean half? Wikipedia/Grant Park? Huh. Okay, now I can turn it off myself. 4 candles? Oh my god, Omni. Okay. So it's a place. Wait, so you don't have a 319 acre front yard? I'm confused. And we got the shout out appear and disappear. Yep, there are no fireworks there, so it just works. I gotta wait now. Everyone please go and check out A Long Twitch username Nya. They finished streaming 16 minutes ago. Secret of Mana, it's almost been 3 months. Tell us the secret already. By the way, I pulled all those descriptions and stuff just from actual real stream titles and stuff. Just to try to, you know, stress test it with really long ones. I don't know whose stream that was. It might have been Virtual Harvey's. And then the category was, I don't know, something else extremely long. The longest game title I could find. I call it my front yard because I used to live literally across the street from the— Ah! I see. You still have line of sight. And Chicago's front yard is apparently an actual nickname for it. Oh, okay. Does tip work? I know tip has fireworks, but does it work? Yes. Okay, so the firework sounds work for tip. I must have just accidentally deleted the firework sounds game object from the own sub base. Sub
base.
I'm a little concerned that it's showing up as enabled the entire time. Should it be turned on when it's not working? Is it going to work if I do this? It is. Okay, it still works. Tip, the charity one. If I do, thank you for the pats, Maple. If I do a charity one again, well, I didn't use fireworks, but I used these fancy particles, which I'm going to zoom in for because yeah, I spent a long time working on this. Like just tuning it and stuff. That was actually the pairing of my late cat. And finally, I guess I can test this one. This is never... Should I test? I'm pretty sure this one works. So I'm not gonna trigger this one. I want to leave this throne one to actually be discovered by people. But nobody do it now, because I'm gonna shut down my streaming setup right now, because then you have to recompile it. So nothing's gonna appear if you do it, and I won't realize, okay? Oh my god, it takes a while to shut down now. What the hell? Okay. Let's recompile. Boop. A little long nuke. Okay, we're recompiling. This might take a little while, because it's the first compilation of the day. You can unfortunately not really make out the music from your apartment. It's just distinct loud noise. Oh, okay, music festivals, I see. Oh my goodness. Alright, so in the meantime, should I show how my pitch detection thing is meant to work? Let me do a thing where I just make like a sharp sound, which will have like lots of spikes. Oh, it's finishing already. Copying files to final destination is the last step. There it is, it's done. Okay, let's run it. We're back. Shush, silence. This is not Trackmania. This is not Reverb either. Do some nyans. Nyan. There we are. I'll just do one. because this is already far longer than I need. This also will demonstrate a problem. Actually, it won't demonstrate it that well because I was really trying to not have my volume changing too much. Like I would in normal speech, it would be going all over the place. Anyway. Sure. Let's use this as an example. 20 milliseconds of audio here. Here's what it looks like. So yeah, as mentioned before, you can't do the... Ooh, is this even gonna work? Yes, it will. So here's the idea behind my thingy. I'm gonna like normalize this to a high volume. I'm sorry, it's gonna be loud if I press play. But anyway, so here's the way that my pitch detection algorithm works, and maybe I'll like make changes to it. But here's the basic idea, and I'll run through this like manually right now to demonstrate it. Let me also resample it to 8 kilohertz instead of 44.1 kilohertz because that's probably what it's going to be in the end. So I'll just do that. It looks a bit different and more noisy as well, so this will be a better test of its resilience, I guess. Anyway, so here's how it works. The first step is to look through the entire window of audio. This entire thing here is like a little small window of audio. And we look for the maximum. So the maximum here is, I wish I could add like markers, horizontal markers, but it looks like the max is right around there. And this is the loudest sample. By the way, we're just looking like from the lowest point to the highest point. So we're actually looking for the min and the max. So the min point is like, the min point is like right around there. In fact, that's super accurate. And the max point is, yeah, there. So, yeah, so that's the very first thing we do. We get the min and the max. And if I go over to the code, not this code, this is the Unity code, which I shouldn't need to touch anymore. I didn't even need to touch it that time. It wasn't the problem. So the first thing we do is we go through and we find the min and the max. And from that we can work out the range. And then also from the range and the minimum, we can work out a threshold. And I calculate 75% as just a number that I tried. So 75% of the way from bottom to top is like somewhere right around there, I'd say, right? So I'm just gonna do this. Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? I think this is gonna work. Yeah, I think this. It's like I already know how like my algorithm works, and I'm just like looking ahead and thinking, is it actually gonna work? Yeah, I think this will work. So I'm just gonna like re-zoom in on Audacity so that the very top now is our. Anything that's like reaches the top here is our threshold. Has gone past our threshold. I wonder if Unity counts closing the code window as a change. Well, I guess it depends on whether Visual Studio like auto saves or something. I don't have it doing that, so it doesn't, thankfully. Thankfully! Okay, so first step, we looked at the min and the max, then we decided on the 75% threshold, which now in this little illustration is at the very top of the waveform here. Next step is we've decided on like a threshold up and down. We need to decide on a threshold. I'll explain what it's used for soon. Left or right, horizontally. So, what we're doing is we're looking for the longest gap between any two peaks. And I define a peak to be like something reaching the threshold, right? So, like, what's the longest gap between like where it reaches the top of the very thing? Here's a fairly long gap. Here's a fairly long gap. There's a fairly long gap. And in fact, let's just change this to measure the length in samples and we can actually see. So this is 16 samples. This is also 16 samples. And that's also 16 samples. So slight spoiler, it looks like the period, if you like, or interval, I don't know what you'd call it, the inverse of pitch that we're looking for is 16 samples. But we don't know that yet. We don't know that yet. and from the, like, us as the computer running the code, we can't be sure about that yet. So, what I then do to help get certainty is, okay, we decide on 16 as the longest gap. So, how about we, again, just use 75% of that as a threshold. So this is where we're going through keeping track of peaks. If there are too many, we give up, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually we decide on 3/4 of the longest interval. This is the shortest that we're going to allow. So what is it? 75% of 16? It's 12. I've lost Unity. I've got Unity, which I don't need anymore. You can be gone. Okay, so 12 is going to be our threshold in time. Is my... Oh my goodness, my tracking is like crazily off. Hold on. It's just bugging me a little bit because it means that this arm's going to be going through my chest a lot. More than usual. So there to there. My hands are like on either cheek right now. One sec. How does this happen? It's different all the time. Let's slide it this way. How's that? Maybe even slightly... Whoop! Oh god. How's that? Oh, that's off. Up. What about there? That's off. What about there? That's pretty good. Anyway, hi 0xf06. Welcome, welcome. We've got 2 0x's in the chat right now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, starting with where we found our maximum length, we're gonna like search forward from that point. Or like search forward from the position of the second peak of this pair, right? So this is the pair that forms the longest interval. We'll start looking from this point onwards. And we're just gonna measure, let's say that we're measuring from like just to the left to just to the left every time. Yeah, okay, so here's the next peak, and so this is 15 and it's above our threshold, so that's fine. We leave it. We measure from this one. Oh, was it 16? I think I might have misclicked. No, it was 15. Okay, fine. Let's measure to the next peak. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's 13. That's fine. We leave it. That's above 12, right? Our threshold is 12. So we don't delete that. We measure from here to the next peak. That's 3. That's too short. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this peak, basically. And for like visualizations, I'm just going to silence it so that we don't see it anymore in Audacity. And we measure from where that peak was over to the next one, which is 13. And that's okay. It's above our threshold. We measure to the next one. That's 3. It's too low. So we silence it. And we measure to the next one. That's 15. That's okay. It's above our threshold. Blah, 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 blah. That's 13. It's okay. It's above our threshold. We measure to there. It's 3. So we silence it. We measure to the next one. It's 12. That's okay. It's not... It is larger than or equal to our threshold, so we don't delete that. We measure to there. That's too low, so we need that. Measure the next one. It's 13, so it's okay. Oh wait, it's not even the threshold. That would be to the threshold. 14, and that's okay. And next one is 12, which is okay. And the next one is 3, so we get rid of that. And the next one is 12, so it's okay. And there's one right at the very end as well, which is 4 or 3, so it's too much. Anyway, so we end up with just these peaks. We filtered out a bunch of peaks that were too close to each other. And we're left with some other ones. Us as humans looking at this, we could see that like, it would have been better if we had like got rid of this. Wait, no, actually it's not even that obvious as humans. Okay, whatever. So anyway, so here we are in the end. These are the peaks we're left with. We're basically left with a list of these peaks. In the code, we just have a list of these positions. We don't literally have the entire waveform. Well, I guess we technically do still have it in memory, but we don't care about it. We only care about this list. And so we end up with a list of intervals between these peaks. So let's see what they are. We have 15. Let's write this down. We have 15 peaks detected. Oh, look at those little peeking cuties. So we got 15. We got 15. We've got 13. We've got 15. We've got 18. We've got 13. It looks like 15 is actually the thing that we want rather than 16. I must have miscounted. And there, we have 19 now. And there, we've got 12. And there, we've got 15. And the way that what my code does finally to decide on what the real interval is it just takes the median. And I don't know, it might be better to like take from maybe the 25th percentile to the 75th percentile and then do a mean, like average on those. But currently what it does is a median. So let's just do that ourselves manually. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we've got another 15 there. We've got another 12 over here. And we've got a 15 here. So taking the median, you just sort them and take the middle value. So in the end, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 values. So if you're a mathematician, would say the actually really correct way to get the median would be to take the average of these two values. But my code is lazy and it just takes the lower one if there are two. Anyway, so ideally I would take the middle one, which is 15 in this case, which I think is okay. And so the code that does that is here. So, oh, by the way, the reason why I think this is much faster than autocorrelation is because autocorrelation has to go through the entire waveform many times, like with different offsets each time, right? But if you notice when I was describing that, we only loop through the whole waveform once at the very beginning to find the min and the max and the range and the threshold. And then once more to detect where the peaks are. So they're the only two times that we loop through the entire waveform. After that, we're just measuring the distance between the peaks. And we actually put our peaks into a separate array so that we don't even need to loop through the waveform anymore. Because like, the entire waveform there is 160 samples in this example. But the number of peaks we had was like, I don't know, let's bring them all back. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So like way lower, like about 10%. In this example, yes. But like, it's always going to be much less. Because if you can imagine, the worst, absolute worst case would be if we had a sample rate of 8 kilohertz and the waveform was 4 kilohertz. That would look like this. Oh, okay. It would actually look like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, but Audacity is being weird with the... kind of annoying. Let's tell it that it's 3999.999. Whatever, it would be a little something like it would be a little something like this. Anyway, but anyway, that would be like a 4 kilohertz tone, right? Which we absolutely don't want to detect. That's way too high. Like we probably don't even want to detect we probably want to detect well below like 1 kilohertz as the highest pitch, right? 1 kilohertz would be... I don't think... Can I even get the high? Kind of, almost. But I probably wouldn't be trying to hum a tune to Long Uke at that pitch. So... yeah. So, like, we can probably safely assume that it's, like, maybe 8 times less or, like, whatever. But, like, that's, like, the absolute worst case anyway, so... I don't think we'd accurately be detecting things that are that high-pitched either, unfortunately. For reasons. But anyway, anyway. So we go through the whole audio only twice. once to get the threshold and once to find the peaks. And then we just go through our list of peaks. Go through the list of peaks forwards and remove any peaks that were originally too close to the one before it. And the way that I remove it in this example, because it's not actually a linked list, it's an array. I just set its position to -1, and then anything that's -1 will be ignored at a later stage. And too close is based on the longest interval above. It's 75% of it, in fact, in this example. And we keep a record of the number of valid intervals we found that were not removed. Anyway, and then we, by the way, right, hang on, there's one step that I missed in my example because the longest interval was the first one. But if the longest interval that we found was like halfway along, we do a stage where we work to the right of it, and then we do a stage where we work to the left of it as well. I guess I could just make that one stage. The reason I didn't do that is because I wanted to be like sure that I would preserve that one longest peak. But like, it probably doesn't really matter if I just do one pass from beginning to end instead of forward and reverse. Are you gonna have a standalone mic for Longyink or do the cool jank way and use the speaker as mic? Oh, that'd be so cool! Ah, that'd be so cool! I hadn't even thought about that. Oh man, I love it. I love that idea. It's the way that I could accidentally damage the
Got one I have yet to do pretty kitty.
it's the way that I could accidentally damage the microcontroller as well if I accidentally keep the DAC on trying to hold a value while I'm also forcing a voltage into it. But anyway.
Got one I have yet to do pretty kitty you. High skin and softness carved from light, glowing gentle, never too bright. It holds the calm of evening air, a warmth that settles everywhere. Smooth as still water, quiet and thin. There's nothing quite like Yuki's skin.
Thank you, Nuge. Welcome in, Nuge. And hi, Devil! There you are. That's what I was going to say. That's far too bright. If someone uses the holy Yuke. Once I store the value of the largest gap, you're going to keep the peak right, so one pass should be fine, no? Once you store the value of the largest gap...
Do I need to keep the peak right? Why am I evil and holy? I need to know what the highest volume is to decide on the threshold for what a peak even is. No cheese. And then I need to find the peaks. Right? Whoa! Rick! Hello! You join at a particularly cursed moment. Don't make me choke with laughter. Raid message. Hello! Don't worry, I'll be less cursed in a moment. Slightly.
Gee.
Slightly.
White cheese. Ah, there we are. Hello. Welcome. Welcome E Squared. How's your stream link? Were you doing, were you on the exercise bike again? Let me shout you out. Liquid cake on. I've still only caught that one stream of yours so far. Oh, no, I didn't even. I had to check the VOD of it because you raided into me that time as well. Oh, you're playing! Noita. Is it picking the correct stream title or is that a previous one? Might be picking a previous one. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, you picked the right one. Nice. Noita Nightmare on stream, finally. Congratulations! Noita is the, like, entirely particle-based game, right? The environment is just particles that can disintegrate and stuff, and you have the magic wands, and all of those have fancy particle effects. Sand Sim. It's an interesting name for it. It's like basically particles that have weight and collision. Noitma. That's similar to Nutma. The Nut. The cat absolutely loves when you do on her stream. But you die all the time. Well, congrats on not dying, I guess. I'm guessing you had to not die to complete nightmare. sand, but die. Yeah. Also, hello, hi. Welcome everybody. It is me, I'm a weird cat. I'm currently looking at a pitch detection algorithm that I've been trying to make up for potential use in a small electronic pet project. Think of a Tamagotchi, but you know, I'm gonna make it so that you can't make her suffer too much. A bit like Creeper World, which is Goop, but die. I don't know Creeper World. Makes me think of Minecraft. And I don't even play Minecraft much. I mean, I don't play it at all now. I haven't played it many times. I can probably count on one hand the number of times that I've played it. Not the number of times that I've launched it, because I'm pretty sure I launched it a lot of times trying to get mods to work. Will she not need feeding? Yeah, she will eventually be able to find food herself. But I'm hoping, well, I'm not really hoping that, well, whatever. The point is that if you so feel that you would like to help her out, you feel sorry for her, you can see that she's hungry and she's searching for food, then you'll be able to help her out and feed her. Otherwise, she'll just have to slide along and, like, be looking for some food. Same with, like, taking shelter from rain. I want to build in, like, a little weather system, but I don't know. I have very grand plans that are probably never gonna come to fruition. As you can see by me writing a goddamn pitch detection algorithm. If she likes food, she'll commence photosynthesis. Oh my god. That's some interesting lore. And then there's the final stage here. Wait, no, this is not the final stage. This is where we go through peaks and remove any that were too close to each other. And then... yeah, that's the forward direction. This is the reverse direction. And then... make the median. Unfortunately, we have to do a little malloc here. Because we need to remove the ones that are not -1, right? Because we marked ones that should be removed. Here. And here. But we didn't really remove them, we just set their value to -1. And here's where we really remove them. I guess we technically don't have to malloc. We could just remove, like, shift every later one down to the left. That might not even be that hard. Would it be that hard? Oh my goodness, what is this? What is this? Oh, I see. The Fimsh is flipping, sacrificing herself to the little nuke there as food. Yuka's a plant confirmed? 2025 no survey? Maybe. She's not. As far as I know. I don't want to be allergic to her, okay? So that's why I'm saying that she's not. Probably. Anyway, it then calculates the median interval, and the pitch would be, you know, the inverse of that. So the sample rate divided by the gap between the samples is the frequency. Number of samples per second. Gap between the samples is the number of such gap per second, aka the frequency. Anyway, we run it and boop! It compiles. Ta-da! So here is it running on just a piece of fast speech. Well, I mean, whatever, it's speech, and it's not even trying to hold, like, the pitch constantly. And here's the output of it. And so, yeah, it's got gaps of like 31, 30, 27, 30, 28, 20, 29, 21, 24, 23, 27, 26. So it's sort of going up and down and stuff seems quite reasonable. Every now and then the window is too quiet, which is fine. Yeah, right, I forgot the point. I forgot to mention there is a point where I do, at the very, very beginning, if the range is too small, we stop, I think. Yeah, so we have like a hard-coded minimum range between the min and the max positions in the waveform, and then we just give up if it's too low. Also, I forgot to mention here, we also give up if there aren't enough valid intervals found, and this is going to be a bit of a problem. Probably. This happens when this kind of situation happens. Let me give a demonstration. A blah 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 blah. Okay, I just had to record myself saying something. A blah 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 blah. Oh, it's even at 8 kilohertz. That's useful. So if we like take a small window of, say, I don't know, 200 samples again, look at this problem that we could have. Is there a really good example? There is not a great example here. Oh, hang on, I know how to make a really bad example. And there we are. So we start with like a harsh sound and it goes towards the which is a smooth sound. And when we look at that, it should very quickly go from a thing with lots of things to, yeah. So if we were to have got, for example, this section of the audio, then what could happen is our thresholds, these ones pass the threshold and they're counted, and all these are below the threshold. So they're not counted. And then we end up with like only 2 intervals here. So that wouldn't work very well. It's also not a great example. Let me just load the actual audio that the program is processing right now. Pitch detect, raw, in dot, oh there it is. This is unsigned, 8 kilohertz. Look at this. This is sort of all over the place. Imagine if this had been passed in. What would happen is this might be within the threshold, and this might be within the threshold, and this might be within the threshold, and then this would get detected as the longest thingy. So one requirement in this pitch detection algorithm is that every single there's at least one peak that's captured per cycle. If we ever just don't capture one of the cycles, like it's just lower for some reason, like if this one, for example, just was lower for some reason, and we did this, then this would get detected as the longest sample. And like, we'd be filtering out this and this and this. And either the detected pitch would be wrong, or it would just be outright, you know, not detected at all. Because in this example here, for example, if this is kept and this is kept and this is kept, this will be the longest interval. We'd go through it forwards and blah, blah, blah. Wouldn't remove anything. We go backwards and we'd remove this. Or if I change it to only go forwards in one pass, we'd remove this. But whatever. The end result would be there's only 2 peaks left. And we'd say, not sure enough. So yeah, that's not great. So that may be what happened in some of these. Also, it may just be that this is when the voice was speaking sibilance noise.
Like, literally this week has been the...
I didn't actually mean to make it play, I was going to show it, but...
Literally
this is just a random sample of one of Koki's streams.
Literally this week has been the first week that I've been able just to fucking, like...
And this is like kind of fast speech, the volume is all over the place. And at some points where it's like, is this the sound? Yeah. So here, for example, this maybe, this is probably below the threshold actually. But I did realize that even when it's like, if you just feed it noise that's really loud, like, sure. Okay, this is gonna be horrible. Let's turn the volume down. It's actually not that horrible because it's a low sample rate. But yeah, this should correctly not act on this, basically. If we follow it through. It's likely to, you know, there's likely to not be any, like, super consistent spacing, and so, yeah. It might just remove a whole load of ones. You know, it'll go for the biggest one, and then, like, then this would be removed, and this would be removed, and, you know, it's going to end up removing, like, everything, basically. So the fact that noise has some periods where there's going to be a big gap compared to the other things actually sort of is quite nice for us. It means it just won't detect a pitch when you feed it noise, which is preferable to detecting a random pitch. Can you do a sum pass to get those smaller peaks? hang on a second. I'm way behind. Small window, only you can fit through. That's so cute. Oh my god, that's so cute. Is there not a way to kind of look for where a peak is meant to be and ask if one is nearby? Step counters, the walking kind, use some kind of cadence, think like this. They probably use autocorrelation. I'm not sure though. Autocorrelation doesn't have the problem of there being a strict threshold. If there is just a weaker wave and it's trying to compare it to a stronger wave previously, and it lines up the stronger wave over the top of the weaker wave, that will still result in a reduced but not completely zero error. And if you're just looking for the lowest error, that would still work for autocorrelation. I'm not sure what you mean though. Like, how do we know what the peak is meant to be? Like this entire thing is like trying to find out what the interval should be. Could you do a subpass to get those smaller peaks? Let's take a random bit of audio as an example. Like here. I'm trying to purposely choose like a bad bit of audio. By which I mean a bit of audio that would trip up my bad algorithm. They think you've added mouse holes in your home to let the mice get around. You know it's to let the long ukes slide wherever they want. Aww. Yes. Long ukes. The much slower and arguably cuter. Also, not arguably derpier. Alternative to mice. Okay, so what do we do there? So this one would, in this example, well, if we just do this, then that counts as the long one, and then there are some small ones. So we do one pass with like 75%, for example, and so what, like we do the entire as it is currently with one threshold, and then we run the whole thing again with a lower threshold? Because like the thing is, we could keep on lowering this over and over and over, but like, how do we know when we've gone too far? In this example, a way we could tell that we've gone too far is the number of peaks that we're detecting is staying the same. Because if the threshold is here, or here, or here, the number of peaks we'll be getting is the same. By the way, a peak is defined as the moment that the wave goes above the threshold. Then all the rest of the time the wave spends over the threshold is ignored until it's dropped below it again. That's a little detail that I forgot to mention. But in an example like this, that wouldn't necessarily work, because as the threshold goes down, we just keep on detecting more and more of these harmonics. I don't know what I meant really, but I've written cadence drift detectors. That sounds interesting. For signals from feeds at work, where things have features every X seconds, and the way it works is to try to find X, which changes over time, and then ask how likely is that X is still correct. Every X seconds, find X, that X is still correct. I think I might get it. I have no idea how, but okay. Are long ukes supposed to be worms or snakes? Yes. I don't know, they're just a strange creature that I refer to as a worm because of the color and the fact that they don't like snake around. Like, you know, like this. Like an S shape. You could set a lower bound to get around that issue. No idea what a good bound would be. I don't know. Also, the thing is, we could just say that you have to whistle to her. Or like hum with like a really, really smooth hum. You know, like rather than like if you compare what those look like as a waveform. One of them is going to have way more harmonics than the other one. Look at that. Look at that! So this one's going to be like way smoother and closer to a sine wave. Man, why don't I get rid of this other channel? Why don't I just change it to record in mono? Why am I recording in stereo? Probably because I was recording like MIDI music before. This is easier to filter, to detect. Just with zero crossing would work for this. Then we look at the other one. Look at that. Look at all those harmonics! But yeah, whistling would also work, as we saw earlier. This is, well, it's basically a sine wave. So we could just say that you have to whistle to her. But that then... actually, no. That would be okay. We wouldn't need such a complex algorithm if we were wanting you to be able to whistle. If we were wanting to detect a whistle, we could actually capture at a higher sample rate than 8 kilohertz. Because our algorithm could be very, very simple. Just, you know, making sure that the min and the max are like high, far apart enough. In other words, the signal's loud enough. And then just seeing how many times it passes the middle. We might want to see how resilient it is to noise though. Let's add some noise. Hold on. Let's record at a bit of a higher sample rate and then add some noise. And then we add some background noise. Let's make it quite a lot. And we mix those together. That doesn't affect it that much, does it? That's quite a lot of noise as well. So this bucket counter is double. What do we do? How do we actually do it? Because we're gonna have many more samples than we need. So basically what I'm saying is this would give us like an update for every cycle, right? With like 0.001 of a second, and we're gonna want this to change like maybe 10 or 20 times a second. So I'd want to sort of batch some processing and then like go through it, I guess. We wouldn't just want to count the number of peaks. I guess we could filter out by ones that are too close to each other for a start. Because this is far too close. These being only one sample of like, well, this crossing and then this crossing being only 2 apart implies that it would be, well, 3 apart, right? 1, wait. Wait, what is it snapping to? What? Oh. Is that right? I guess that would be the moment where it crosses above and below and above. Okay, yeah, the fact that these would be 2 apart. Why is it this? What is this buggy highlighting? Look, here's where the actual marker is positioned. And then when you select, it's like, what do you mean? I guess it is that single one that's selected. But anyway, that would imply the frequency is like stupidly high, so that would be outside the range of acceptable ones. Now, a particular bit of this sample is interesting because there's a secondary that's about half the frequency of the primary, and it's causing the peaks to be alternating high and low, which is hell. I'm not sure which part you mean, sorry. I've been going through a bunch. Oh, I don't have anything else loaded anymore. Was it when I was doing the versus the Oh, this is... Oh yeah, this one. There's also an option that doesn't really fix the problem. Can't whistle, so that's why I think it's less than ideal. Yeah, but the humming would work, I guess. To some extent. I guess it depends how smoothly you can whistle though, because if it's harsh at all, like that was not me even trying to sound harsh. I just, if I'm humming that low, it just sounds harsher, and it's more like individual pulses rather than a sine wave. That's actually still... It's actually not that bad, still. Well, it really depends on where you're flipping threshold is, because this got really lucky in that if this had just been a little bit lower and caught these, or a little bit higher and caught these, then the just crossing, looking at the crossing point wouldn't work. Like there or there. And other consistent tones, which includes mooing. Oh, ooh is very, very smooth as well. Is that, like, smoother than... Yeah, I think that's closer to a sine wave, isn't it? Or at least just a sine and a second harmonic. Let me see. It certainly sounds like it's... Yeah, look at that. It's actually a third harmonic, this ladder, it looks like. This is what it looks like as a waveform. Okay. Versus... Oh, wow! That's clean as fuck! Okay, so if you just sing to her like a chimpanzee or something, just going whoo, 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 then that would work really well. Long you can enjoy is the sound of mooing. God damn it. Why did I have to make her nyan? There's like a harsh sound in the middle. It's harder to track. I mean, the you know, whatever. This way would kind of work, I guess. Anyway, should we just see what this would do if I literally just... Let's just record something and not even like filter it at all. And we're just recording outright at 8 kHz. Nyan, 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 nyan. Sure. Just that. Just that. And we'll convert it to mono. And do I dare boost it in volume? Is the threshold high enough? This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like a 12th or something. What did I hard code it as? 24. That's like 10% of 250. Well, 240, 256. It's like an 11th, roughly. Yeah, close to an 11th. I don't know if that'll be loud enough. How many times can this be boosted? 26. So that's like 6, 12, 18, 24. So that's like double. So 2, 4, 8, 16. Yeah, I think it's too low. And I'm gonna boost this in volume a bit. Boop. And we'll just save this. There's something going on here. What is this? I think it's me breathing out or breathing in, possibly. Okay, let's save this. Why is it choosing to save it somewhere else? Let's save it in a pitch detect folder as raw, uncompressed, 8-bit, unsigned, in_nyan dot raw. Oh, it's still running. Boop. I haven't even looked at what the waveform looks like yet. We've got a quiet bit at the end, a quiet bit at the beginning. Wow! Okay, sorry, that was really fucking loud. 254, 20, 380, 333. We're seeing this looking oddly consistent, because we're sort of reaching the limit of what we can tell the pitch is based on... how do I explain this? If we increase the loop by just one more sample, we get quite a different sound. But look at that, it's like a really consistent actually, which is really cool. So maybe we should use a median to try to get it more... What? Well, they were quite similar, weren't they? At the end, it went longer. Yeah, from like 380 down to 290 or so. But yeah, like, so this pitch here, which is high pitched. This is gonna sound nasty when I do this, but here's the loop roughly. Cheese. Why cheese? Here's roughly the loop. And if we just change it by length of 1, listen how much higher that is. This is just one sample. At this pitch is like a really significantly different pitch, which is going to get more and more extreme as we reach the limits. So if you want to be able to detect something between like the sound of this and this, we're gonna have to like use a mean rather than just a median. A hell of a load of stuff just happened while I was explaining that. Or thinking about that. What happened? A load of cheeses. Oh, 2 cheeses actually. And pause to check. Yeah, big data. So I have a drive called fast data, which is an SSD that's smaller, and a drive called big data, which is a hard drive that's bigger. They're actually the same size now, but they didn't used to be. Although no, I still only have the original partition size because yeah, no, never mind. I think that is still bigger. The big data one is bigger. Thank you for checking the hydration. You could play piano, and she just like slides around on it. Thank you, Prag. Blah. It would be interesting to see how fast this is. But I was hoping to be able to keep, like, I was trying to make it as fast as possible. So, but by the way, one way we can get more accuracy is just increasing the sample rate. Blah, 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 blah. What I was trying to say, yeah, I was trying to keep this as fast as possible. Because, I was hoping to be able to keep the CPU speed, the clock speed down, so the battery will still last a long time. But I don't even know how much current it's gonna... Like, it might not even be worth keeping it down, because, like, doubling the CPU frequency sort of only roughly doubles the power usage. And the power usage is so low to begin with that the power used by, like, the microphone preamp circuit, and there's probably gonna have to be a goddamn filter in that as well, is probably gonna use, like, a lot more current than the STM32. So, like, we might just have enough CPU time to do this at, like, a much higher sample rate. Hell, we might even have enough time to do full-blown autocorrelation for all I know. Probably not, but maybe. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I did a stream some time ago where I tried to connect up an Electret microphone. I tried to make a circuit for a little Electret condenser microphone. And I couldn't get it to work at all. And I spent like a couple of hours on this, and then the stream ended. It still didn't work. I think it's called Weird Cat Wants to Be Heard or something. I think there's a VOD of that on YouTube at the moment. And so I think I might just... The mic might not work. Like, these are mics that were pulled out of things very, very a long time ago. Like, maybe 20 years ago. Maybe more, actually. But let's not reveal my age too much. Anyway, so I have a bunch of mics in this little drawer that I've just sort of been building up for a long time. It wasn't originally this drawer. Oh, wait, no, it was originally this drawer, actually. Anyway, and I thought, shall I, since I'm going to be wanting to do this, like, it'd be pretty cool if we could actually, you know, do this on the real thing, right? Like, I originally was getting Talkie, the synthesis thing, working on Windows, and then I got it to work on the STM32. And here I've got this working on Windows. Wouldn't it be cool if I could just port this to the STM32 as well? And we just have this thing that's just hardware that just detects the pitch. I mean, that'd be a pretty cool project alone, but to have a long uke then repeat it would be pretty cool. Oh yeah, right. when she repeats it, if I want her to say nyan for the individual notes, there'd need to be some kind of thresholding for when it decides that the pitch has changed as well and stuff. That's, I think, going to be a deceptively tricky problem as well. Pitch detection itself is deceptively tricky, or deceptively simple looking, but not super straightforward. Anyway, I was thinking, should I try again to do that, but using a different mic? I have a bunch. I have like quite a lot. Should I take a photo? I think I'm gonna take a photo. I'm gonna take a photo with this little tray of things. Partially motors, partially piezo sounder thingies, and partially microphones, and like a couple of magnets thrown in for good measure, because why not? Why not? They're magnets, right? I'm gonna take a photo of this. Photo capture in progress, and I'm gonna show it on the stream. I need to crank up this brightness a little bit. Maybe not. Is there anything incriminating here? I don't think there is. I'll remove these things just in case, just so we can see just the mics. Actually, fuck it, I'm just gonna put the mics on the desk. I'll take a photo of the mics on the desk. It's too messy anyway to see everything. And some of these mics have 3 terminals, and I cannot find much information about how to wire 3 terminal things online. I found like a couple of things, maybe that'll be good enough. And a few more of them are 2 terminals, which is the kind that I was trying to wire before. Yeah, that's all of them. There's like a dynamic mic capsule in there as well, but imagine if I make a mic socket on the imagine if I build in a fucking full-size XLR mic socket onto the Ask Long Uke thing. That would like double the size of the entire thing just because the XLR plugs are so big and deep. Have you been committing crimes against technology? No comment. Let me turn these around so you can actually see what's on the back. Some of them anyway. Yes, this will be a fine photo indeed. It actually won't, that's appalling, it's not even in focus. This will be more of a fine photo. What a weird stream this is. You're just someone looking at her phone while trying to take a photo. Okay, let's blow that using the only technology that exists for sharing files in 2025. That is posting to a private channel on a Discord. Oh, it looks like I've tried to use this before. I didn't notice this until I looked. Looks like I've tried to wire that one before. Anyway, let's put that on Discord so I can show it on the stream. But yeah, I was watching a Great Scott video on YouTube the other day. Great Scott is someone who makes videos about electronics and little electronic modules especially. And a little bit of getting to work with Arduino and stuff. And just casually, in part of a video about like home automation kind of stuff, he just like very casually, a Scott who is great. No, oh my god, my voice. No, do not grate the Scott. No grating of the Scott. But yeah, in part of a video about holy crap, my voice has suddenly gone really bad. I won't be singing to a Long Uke anytime soon. Thank you for the pads. Can you pat my throat? Right now it sounds a bit That'd probably be painful, actually. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, in part of the video just about home automation stuff, it involved like a microphone, right? So that you can speak to it. Like to make an alternative to like, you know, the wiretaps that everyone likes to buy nowadays. And he just casually just in part didn't even mention it. He was literally just showing, oh yeah, so I connected this mic up and blah blah blah, and he's just holding his hands, this tiny little circuit with an electret mic and like 1 or 2 other components like a capacitor and something, and he just had like, he's holding it in one hand with like clips going to the oscilloscope, and he just speaks into it and you see the waveform appearing really nice and clean on the oscilloscope screen. And it's like, what the fuck? I spent 2 hours trying to do that, just connect the circuit up, and he just mentions and doesn't even mention it. He just casually shows, oh yeah, by the way, here's a circuit with an electric mic. Yeah, and obviously it just works. Anyone could just do this. I don't even need to mention it. He didn't say those words, but that I felt called out because of having tried it before. So that's what I was hearing in my head. And I'm like, man. Was the one mic I tried to use just balked, or perhaps I balked it in the process of trying to get it to work? Let me where should I post this? Let's post this in stream chat. Oh, Penvu has posted some screenshots in the stream chat. I'm gonna show those before I show the thing that I posted. Stream chat. Okay, look at these. Hold on. Where is it? Here it is. Some close-ups of me. We have this. We have this. This was just earlier today. I remember the floppy sticky note thingy. And Jokeber with the jokes. Then this. And this. Hi, Penvu! Hi! I know that you're lurking now. Anyway, here are the mics. This one. This little culprit here. This little shit is what I was trying to use on the last stream. But there are a few. There's like this one which has 2 wires. There's this one which has 2 wires, but you can't really tell in the screenshot. Oh, photo. Real life screenshot. And yeah, this one has 2 as well. I think this one has 2. I'm not entirely sure. Then we have this one that has 3. 1, 2, 3. I didn't realize there was a little bit of wire wrapped around here. I must have tried to wire this in the past. And this one has 3 as well. And nowadays, if you search for an electret mic, I cannot find one with 3 pins for sale anywhere. Well, these came with little electronic kits from Maplin a long time ago, I'm pretty sure. Which, as you can see, I never assembled because here's the mic unassembled. Anyway, so I'm guessing they work, right? Because they came from a kit. I didn't even pull them out of anything. I can't even have damaged them when I was pulling them out. I guess I could have damaged them in the decades of storage where they were like probably subject to some electrostatic discharge, but throw to me again? Yeah, it did. I emailed them to myself, which is just as sad. Aww. I've done that in the past as well. If you arrange them in a pleasing fashion, you could be a pickup artist. Wait, was that relating to microphones? I see what you did there. Speaking of arranging microphones in a pleasing fashion, I bet you didn't think I could segue from that. Julia Day, who I haven't seen streaming in a long time. One of their electronic projects, this is someone who does electronic sort of design and manufacturing and stuff. I mean, not, you know, making of electronic things, designing and stuff. They were making a thingy that is like a wireless microphone, but it's like a whole bunch of mics around the outside. And it actually sends the audio of all of the channels. I can't remember if it's 4 channels or 6 channels or something like that. And it sends them wirelessly, which is pretty cool. They're not streamed for a bit? Yeah. I hope they're okay. I guess one could just be a mounting pin. But odd that it's not active. Yeah, well, he had some things. Hang on, what's gonna appear? Okay. This is pretty much one of the only things that I've seen that mentions these two things. There actually does seem to be stuff going on the 3 terminal ones. Can we hide this mess on the right hand side, please? I want to have a wider page. It doesn't make the page any wider. Sad. Does that make it wider? Not really. Oh well. Can I zoom in now and it's... Yeah. Oh, okay. Just when it gets past a certain size, it spans the whole window anyway. Okay. Ah! Thank you for the pats. But not for the cheese. And thank you for saving the kidneys. I actually should go and do that. So it seems to be a difference. You know, this dotted line is the mic, and inside it there's a FET. Which brings up absolutely stupidly quiet things that no mere mortal could ever hope of using to a level that is extremely low and needs like 2 more stages of amplifying before it can be expected to drive the speaker. Anyway, but only 1 stage if I want to send it to like a microcontroller. Okay, I am gonna go and save kidneys, and I will be right back. Let me see what Twitch is doing regarding wanting to play ads. It wants to run one in 13 minutes right now, so I'm going to force it to do it right now. And that way it won't do it again later, at a less opportune moment. So, yeah. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna run the ads. It's like 30 seconds, which is longer than I'm gonna be away anyway. So, I'll be right back. Everybody please use this as an opportunity to save your kidneys, aka go to the toilet, stretch, drink, eat. You know. Self-care, basically. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, I cannot save the kidneys at the moment. Somebody is in the bathroom. I'll have to try again later. Hi. I tried. Yuke says hello to Michael phone, and then computer says hello back. Oh, it's so cute! The little waggy tail. Oh. It's more gonna be, yeah, I guess so. It's gonna be like human or something says hello to Lungyuk, and then Lungyuk says hello back. Oh shit, I didn't even run the ads. Ah, well, never mind. Never mind. I guess they're gonna run in 13 or 11 minutes. Oh well. I wish I could stop them. What is my hand doing? There we go, that's better. Alright, and another slight problem. I don't know which pin is which. Which pin is which? I would guess that the long one is probably ground, right? Wait. Okay, I'm not quite sure what's going on here, actually. Are these joined together here? Or is this like just going down past it to ground? Is this... Oh wait, you can't see, sorry. Is this here joined? Is this ground joined to this line? And going up to this one? Or is it just a resistor going down to ground and it passes by this one? Like, there's no dots there to show me where the connections are. And this was another one. Does this explain? Is this equivalent to the this one? It's suddenly my music, and it's way quieter, and it's the same key. Is this the same? There's a capacitor there, there's a 10k from there to there, and that's ground, and then this goes up to V bias. Yeah, okay, this is the same. This is the same. Okay, so we can see actually that the resistor does join. And this one mentions what the resistor and capacitor values are here, so... not this one. This is an Arduino page that basically said, hey, we can't find 3-pin ones, and then blah, 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 blah. This wasn't particularly interesting. And they said that didn't work. Anyway. So... It's the same, but doesn't have the internal bias resistor. Internal bias resistor? Oh yeah. Okay, well yeah, it's just making an assumption about what the inside of the thing is, yeah. Okay. Well, I still have to make an assumption about what pins are what as well. Oh, I don't have it. Hang on. Let me save this. Save it, Clank. Yep. Yep. Why is it? What is this? Hi, RH1_1A. I've never used Arch, by the way. I know a few people who do use Arch, by the way, though. Or ABTW, because we should probably shorten it. 2. Okay, so I don't know if you can see here, but there's one fat ass pin on the here, and then there are these 2 pins that I believe are the same width. But let me just have a look with my own eyes. Not someone else's eyes. Oh god. Yeah, the pins themselves are the same width. There's this like piece of plastic that sticks out more. Hi Forwardy, welcome! Oh, yes! The fireworks sounds work again. They were broken earlier, then I fixed them. Okay. Hi, welcome. Thank you very much for the resub. I'm glad that you got to hear the fireworks sounds. Rather than just a bling and then the very anticlimactic fireworks sounds. Very, very distant fireworks. So far away they can't hear them. Welcome. Hope you're doing alright. So yeah, looking at this mic. Well, this one actually looks like it has maybe been removed from something, because this thing here has been like gripped and twisted. I don't know why I would have done that if I was not removing it from something. But otherwise, it looks kind of too cleanly removed to have been removed by me at the more unskilled soldering age than I would have been. Alright, so I guess we could maybe assume that the huge one is ground, but that still leaves like a big problem. If we don't know which side of these is plus and which side is not plus, which side of these I'm going to be putting power into and which side is the positive thingy, V bias, and which side is not, well, we could damage this FET, right? Or would it not? Does the FET have a built-in diode? If the FET doesn't show a built-in diode on here. If the FET has a built-in diode, it would be fine, I guess. MOSFETs have diodes, so it's just this FET. I don't know if it's the MOS kind. There's a metal oxide. I've seen people mention JFET, but I don't know if that is what it is. I also don't know how a JFET differs, but... It's a Japanese FET. I don't know if you know what it stands for. Junction, I would guess, but... Yeah, I don't know which way around this is. If we just pretend that it's in pin order, then the fat one would be this ground. The middle one would be the output. And the one at the far end would be the input. I mean, like the biased voltage. Yeah. It says you can join these two. And if you do that, then you connect the voltage on the right side here. Oh my god. Chill with those kicks. Sheesh. I mean, okay, I'm being really stupid here. Why don't I just try it for God's sake? This is this is something that I've not used in literally decades. Why am I suddenly so scared that I'm gonna damage it when I can easily find replacements of the kind that are easier to wire for like practically no money and they're so cheap? Let's just fucking try it. I've got 2 of them as well, so I can just... If the first one doesn't work, I'll wire the other one the other way around. And if that doesn't work as well, then... Oh dear. Like, 2 little bits of metal of size roughly 1 centimeter cubed are gone from this drawer that I didn't touch in all these years. Man, isn't it stupid that I suddenly have these worries that I've never... For things that I haven't barely even thought about. Until now. It seems sad to, like... make them go to waste, but whatever. I guess another thing that might have not worked is the op amp that I was trying to use at the time. But I don't even know if Great Scott was using that an op amp. I could like bring it up actually. The video. If I can find it. Let's find it. Help!
Welcome
Shush. Okay, so is this video?
I do love my
Shush!
home model.
Stop playing! Oh my god! And also stop throwing cheese at me. So this is the video. If I scroll to where he just casually holds it next to the... Here, I think. Or was it before then? Was it this part? No, it was before then. Or after then? Question mark? Honestly, it was such a fleeting shot that it might not even show up in the thumbnails. No, I'm pretty sure it was before here. It must have been long before then. I'm trying to find it. Ah, wait, here it is. Here it is. Look at that. Look at this. Just really casually. Here it is. So here's this. So there's the resistor there. There's cheese. What is this cheese? Stop this, please. Hi, Isma. And hi, Freefall. Welcome, welcome. I don't know if it's safe to apply a small voltage, honestly. I don't know what the voltage I should be applying is. I think I've seen someone say like 1 to 9 volts. Anyway, it looks like there's a resistor there. Here's the mic. I don't know what other things are there. Unfortunately, the focus is just like, focus is not on that. Can we see what it is? It looks like the resistor here is soldered to a leg there or something. So if we can assume that the scope, wait. Is this? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm even looking at. Ah, hold on. Okay, so this is going to be the scope ground, right? So whatever this is probably ground. And whatever the other side of the scope probe is connected to, which is all the way up here, I think, is going to be the output. So this could actually be a 3-pin mic, looking at that. 1, 2, 3. So in this case, the ground is on one side. The power going in via a resistor is in the middle. And the signal looked like it's coming out of the one on the far side, right? Because the power does go via the resistor, right? Well, no, actually. It doesn't. Not in this diagram. Not in this diagram. So if we're seeing a resistor over to something else, I don't even see a capacitor. Or an op amp. Does he mention the pass used in the description? I don't think so. Like, he mentions the actual points of interest. Like, the actual parts, but not the... Where is the amp here? Oh, hang on. It actually does mention the amp, the mic itself here. These are going to go to AliExpress, and I don't know what's going to appear when I click that. I'm going to do that in a separate window. Because I have an account and I don't want it to dox me. And then there's... Yeah, okay. Well, let's see what type of mic it is. Maybe there's like a pinout on the mic listing. Let's have a look. Or actually, I can just look up the number. INMP441. Sure. Let's just search that. There it is. Oh, wait. This is just an entire omnidirectional microphone module I2S interface. This is not the microphone itself. This is... Yeah, he didn't actually end up using that. This is the... This is the microphone that's built onto a board and stuff. This is... Yeah, that's not the literal capsule, unfortunately. And the amplifier there is not for the mic either, it'll be for the speaker, so... It was such a casual thing. I wonder if he's actually done a video on electric mics or something. Electret. Voiceover microphone. Oh, he has! It also shows up in an op-amp video. Well, this is an old. This was 7 years ago. Holy crap. Was I watching him 7 years ago? I wonder.
Their fingers think before they move. A rhythm sharp, a silent groove. They trace through tasks with perfect aim, as if each one knows her name.
Oh.
No motion wasted, no step unsure. Each careful press feels calm and pure. In every tap or quiet spark, she builds the light inside the dark.
My fingers move before I think. Capacitor as easy DC filter, yes. Hard to see with the blur, yeah. As the ground is clipped to one of the 2 pins. Yeah, I'm not sure. David! Oh, she's gonna fail on these 2 exclamation marks.
Happy anniversary.
See.
Smile and say cheesy.
Cheesy! Happy anniversary. Anniversary? Well, thank you very much for the resub. Why the cheese though? Why the cheese? Why the cheese though? What? Why? I have to get so ridiculously up close and personal to my mic. Why not? Why not? Are we yelling random events? Happy birthday? No! And maybe it's because it's 9 months. Like, you know, it says 10 months, but this is when it's truly the full 9 months have passed. It's the end of the 9 months rather than the beginning of the 9 months. Anyway, hi. Hope you're doing alright. It's a cheese anniversary. My cheese tasting anniversary stream was like 6 months ago. Maybe 7, maybe 5, close to 5. 5 or 6 or 7, take your pick. One of those numbers. That was fun though. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it again because I got so many cheeses. There's no way I'm going to find that many cheeses again that are different. But maybe I could get a goddamn half decent cheddar this time instead of that letdown of the Welsh one. That was a shame. It was integer months ago. You're actually written some code today? Congratulations. I haven't written any code today. This has been a real yapathon. have a quick look at this. And this other video of his. I'm a bit scared to show it on stream because... Ah! Yeah, you know, I'm gonna put the link to this. I would highly recommend checking out Greatest God's channel. It is like... It's always cool stuff on there. And it's just... Yeah, I like it. Also, this is an unofficial shout out for Greatest God. Also, hashtag not sponsored. They do like an interesting series where they're buying a bunch of interesting looking things from AliExpress and then seeing if they're actually worth it or not. As in, like, do they even deliver on what they promise or not? But here is a section where there's an electric mic. Okay, so this is like the inside of the thingy that we've already seen on here. He's also not drawing it with the resistor. Like here. And then... Okay, so yeah, that's the phantom power. More than 1.5 volts. And there's the output then, and there's the ground. Okay. So this... Oh, he hasn't drawn a load resistor yet, I guess. Or maybe he's not going to. It looks like he's not. Okay, well, he doesn't even have the flipping load resistor there. Wait, was this not the load resistor? Oh, that is the... Wait. Oh! Wait. Oh, this is just a 2-pin version. Never mind, it's just a 2-pin version of the mic. Right, so is this... Okay. So it's just a flipping 2-terminal one. Never mind. I have the 3-terminal ones. Mind you, I do have some other 2-terminal ones. Do you reckon I should try one of the other 2-terminal ones first? Might be easier. Have you ever used a headphone as a microphone? I think so. I've used a full-size speaker as a headphone. As a microphone. I probably have. I can't easily do it right now. Actually, I probably could. I guess I could. I wouldn't be able to hear stream while I'm doing it. Should I try it? I'm gonna try it right now. I need to get a little adapter. Hold on. Okay. Hi, Mentooth. Welcome. Use a phone as a speaker. Okay, I'm gonna record from the right channel of this interface. Not that one, but this one. This one? Yeah, this one. Okay, so we're gonna record from this right channel. I don't think there's much of a boost being done right now. Yeah, no, okay, let's crank the gain a huge. Okay, this is 54 decibels of gain being done now. Which is absolutely enormous. It's actually still not enough to show up on here very much, but you can sure see it there. I'll turn it down. We'll start with a somewhat sensible value of like 32 decibels of gain. And I'm gonna now unplug my mic. Unplug my headphones from the headphone socket and plug them into that. So I'm gonna go deaf now. They're now plugged in. Oh my god! What the? Okay, which speaker is it? Not that one. That one. Okay, I'm now gonna shout. Okay, I'm gonna turn up the gain even more. It's at 32 decibels. Okay, now it's okay, now it's at 54. Oh my god! Wait, this is actually hearing me quite a lot. I wonder how clearly. Can you make out anything I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna stop shouting into my headphone now. Bye! That was amazingly... Okay, that was amazingly a clear signal. Holy crap. Is this Scatman? It's the right one? I think it's weird because it's a stereo input. No, I've got two separate 1/4-inch inputs slash XLR combo jacks. Let me get a picture up. It's got two of these jacks where you can either plug an XLR thing in or a 1/4 inch thingy here. And there are 2 of them, so you plug in the left channel into one, and the right channel into another one. I just plugged in a thing. Anyway, let's see what it sounds like. Let's split this out to more. I've never done this before with these headphones. Okay, let's go to here. I'm very curious to hear this. Okay, let's stop the music and have a listen. So this is me plugging in and finding out which one's recording it first. Oh my god. What the? Okay, which speaker is it? Ah! Cat! Okay, I'm now gonna shout. Okay. Welcome, welcome! Is it 32 decibels? Okay, now it's now it's at 54. Oh my god. Wait, this is actually hearing me quite a lot. What? This is pretty clean. What the fuck? What the? I was not expecting to be that clean at all. What the hell? Okay, so this. Hi, welcome in, Cat. Sorry, it's probably very. It's probably very strange for anyone who's just come in. This is me. I plugged in my headphones. Welcome. Thank you for the follow 15 squirrels, heat map, and lick the do. Lick the duck, is that what it's gonna say? Welcome. How's your stream, Cat? Welcome. Hi, Q-Duck. And Unskill. I mean, Unkseal, not Unskill. Unkseal. Exia. Choco. Dark Fox. Cat. 15 squirrels. Quinn Zen. Societal Squash. Heat map. Chris. Cat. Lick the do. Lick the do again. And Cat. Okay, there we are. Hi. Maid Cat is here to clean your stream. Oh, hell yes. Please, clean it up. It's filthy. Hold on, let me fix it. Okay, thank you. You cleaned it up. Much better. Much better. You're surprised? I'll explain what the hell I was just doing in a moment, but I have to give pads to Keyduck. Pad. There you go. Also, look, I'm a maid right now as well. Look. Ta-da! Ta-da! I can only move that far. Oh, it's actually further than I realized. I can move quite a how. So many slices of cheese on the ground. Yeah, that'll be a lot. There'll be a lot. Cat, how's your stream? How did the arting go? Cat, would you like to share art tags? Cat. Can you share art tags? I demand it. I saw thighs. Maybe a little. Maybe a little. Oh, my tracking is betraying me right now. If you'd like to see thighs, I think Kat might be able to oblige with what she was drawing. Yeah, but hello, hi, welcome everybody. It is me. I'm a weird cat. Thank you for the hydration and the posture checker center as well. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and right now the stream is like everything and nothing. No way! I missed live hop. Oh my god! Kat, can you please publish the VOD? At some point, if you didn't like accidentally do something that you need to keep it disabled for. I really want to watch that. I've never heard live. Well, I think I have heard a bit of live Cat hop, but never on a stream. Art accent. Hell yeah! Thank you. I'm a little bit unsure whether it's safe to show it. Radiocaster Uke. I guess I should explain what I was doing and why you were hearing these weird noises. I hoped that was what this section was when I saw it on the waveform. So this right here. I wonder how clearly. Can you make out anything I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna stop shouting into my headphone now. Bye. Okay, that was a slight spoiler of what it was. Someone was like, have you ever used a headphone speaker as a microphone? I was like, yeah, in a long time ago I tried with like a normal speaker, and I was like, why don't you just try it right now? So I literally unplugged it from the headphone thingy and just connected it to like one of the mono inputs on this sound interface and cranked the gain to a very high level. And look, it's flipping. I was absolutely shocked that it was hearing me that clearly. This is me like By the way, this is just headphones. It doesn't have a built-in mic. It's literally just a left and right speaker, and it sounded like this when I was tapping it. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Anything that has an amplifier doesn't work, but unamplified headphones do. Yeah. Pure, normal, real things that you need like a 3.5mm plug for. The kind of things that Apple is terrified of because they removed the headphone jacks. I guess I am the Scatman. Anyway, let's have a look at the Zard tags. Let me stop leaving Cat hanging here. Oh, it was... Okay. So this is the art. I'm not laughing at the art. I'm laughing at... Now we can remove this because it's for the tube thingy, whatever. I was not laughing at this, which is the amazing art drawn by Cat right now. But oh my goodness, sorry. I thought there was a weird hit coming, but it never came. Anyway, oh my goodness, I never noticed the free gripper at the bottom. But when she was drawing this, and she was zoomed in around here, and I could not help but see this as an eye. But okay, you gotta remember, you gotta understand that this was unshaded at the time. And this, I saw this as an eye, and this as like a head, and I sent her this because that's what I just saw at the time. But look at this amazing, adorable avatar, which is technically not even like her actual avatar. This is like a stopgap avatar for the a model for the that she's using. It's like a free avatar that she modified all of the like the color of the hair and the face markings and the eyes and the added a tail and all the good stuff. It's super cute. Anyway, and she also got gifted an iPhone recently, which is sadly in 2025 is still the best facial tracking. And yeah. Anyway, so I thought, wow, look, it looks like this derpy little thing, and she was so she so liked the idea of it. She went and drew an entire goddamn actual artist version of this little derpy guy. So if you like stuff like this, make sure you give Cat a follow. Have I even shouted out Cat yet? I have not, right? Artist. Cat. Don't you dare. Oh, you updated your avatar as well! Like the icon on Twitch. Holy shit. 7 hours 24. Thank you very much for publishing it as well. I can tell you have because my shout out pulled the correct title. Oh yeah, true. You wait. Do you actually like a proper karaoke stream? Because I know that you are. I know that you are Nyan. I know that you are singing, as you often do. Soon trademark. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, hi, welcome. It's me. I'm a weird cat, and I sometimes do electronics and programming stuff, but sometimes play games. I'll be continuing playing Half-Life 2 with Myriad tomorrow, if all goes well. You sing sadly for your viewers' ears. Look, jeez, your viewers' ears seem to like it. You karaoke when? Oh, I do want to do it sometime. I do want to do it. I need a bit more confidence, I guess. I also really want to get like these spotlight effects for my streaming setup to work. I want to be able to have like the subtitles of the songs appear on screen. I've started to make like the... I've kind of done a lot of the groundwork for all these things that I want. I just have to integrate them all together into one actual finished thing, and I've just been lazy and not doing that. I should have done it. Then I should have done a karaoke stream by now, and then I'll need to like be alone. Obviously, I'm gonna be singing when there are other people around listening to me. Like, you know, in the building. I'll do it on stream. Karaoke. Yok X Cat cover one day. Yeah. Oh, Cat, when are you gonna do your flipping cover of that song with Bisha? I said I'd like mix that for you probably 1 or 2 years ago now, and it still hasn't happened. It's not sad, Cat. We love your singing. There you go. There you go. There you go. Straight from the horse's mouth. Not calling you a horse, key dog. You have no idea. Oh. So yeah, hi. I don't know what the hell I was doing on this stream. Basically nothing. The stream title says that I didn't know what to do basically. So I gave it the most generic name. I guess here are some amazing things you missed earlier, such as cheese and this, maybe this, and also this. These are some screenshots taken by Penbu. But yeah, I'm not sure. I was talking about things that I like might want to do. I'm wanting to make like a little pet long uke thing. Hi Astatin, thank you for the pads, but not for the cheese. I'm wanting to make like a little Tamagotchi style thing called a pet long uke. Name subject to change. Pets for the est. I'm smiling, but the cheese is blocking it. You'll just have to trust me. And I thought, you know, it would be fun if I could... Cheese. No, I didn't. I absolutely did not think that. Well, I thought about that when I was doing the cheese taste testing stream. Anyway, it's going to look a little something like this maybe on the screen. Who knows? Look. It's very difficult to look when I'm being that obnoxious with the scroll wheel. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun if you could have like a little music making mini game so you could, bye cat, enjoy your food. I'm gonna have to go soon as well. But oh shit, I'm actually gonna have to go really soon. Oh, I'm so sorry to do that to you right after you raided and people followed. Yes, hi. Thanks for the kind words. A warm welcome as always. You. Oh, thank you. I read that something about the worm for a moment. I thought you were saying like mentioning the long uke, which is that creature. I thought it'd be really cool if you could do a little thing where you could have like a little thing where you could make music in here, and she'll just like nyan at different pitches, like nyan 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 or something. Because there's gonna be like sound built into this, like a little speaker. And I can fairly trivially have her make sounds at specific pitches, so it's like, why not make a little music maker then? And then I had the thought then of well, instead of you having to enter notes, what if you could literally just hum or like whistle or something, like a little melody to her? And there's like a mic, and it tries to detect the pitch and then like have her nyan it back to you in her voice. And this is called scope creep, where you keep on getting more and more and more and more ideas, and then it just becomes one huge overwhelming pile of ideas that you're never going to implement any of because it's far too intimidating. And yeah, long uke Vocaloid, kinda. That's a part that's actually possible, like with stuff I've done so far. But for it to tell what pitch you're humming or singing at, that's basically what I was what is this that's selected right now? Huh. Interesting. Oh. Help! I couldn't stop it. Yeah, so basically I was just going over like my idea of a way to do pitch detection in like a really trying to do it in like a pretty fast way and stuff. And then I was like, well, I have like some of these tiny little microphones. Can you see them? No, you can't because they're so tiny. So let me go to a photo that I took earlier. These are just things I've taken out of electronic things over many years. And I actually did a stream a little while ago. I don't know how long ago it was. Long ago enough for it to be on my VODs on YouTube now. There's a link to it if you're interested. Along with others. And I spent like 2 hours trying to get this one in particular. This working. This microphone working. Spoiler, I never did, so there you go. I just saved you the trouble of having to watch that VOD. Don't need to click that link anymore. And then I was like, well, maybe the mic was actually broken. Like, I pulled these out of things a very long time ago. Maybe it's just broken. Or maybe I broke it while trying to make it work. That wouldn't be unheard of. Yeah, so it's like, why don't I try a different one? Then I realized there are ones with 2 wires and there are ones with 3 wires. And I don't know how to connect the ones with 3 pins. And then I was looking up and they're like, okay, they tell you how to connect the 3 things, but how do I know which pin is which thing on the diagram? And TLDR, I don't. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll try a different one, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized it was 8:38 p.m. and like, I should probably stop to be able to eat and shower before I go to bed. So today's stream has basically just been a whole lot of yapping and catching up on things that I've done, not on the stream, when I actually had some ability to, you know, not be super tired. I'm pretty tired today, so yeah, that's basically it. There's many methods. Are you talking about pitch detection freefall? Because this whole stream has been about why I don't want to do FFT or autocorrelation and going over my algorithm instead. So I'm sorry, you might want to check the VOD. I'm sorry to just dismiss you outright like that, but there are indeed many methods and autocorrelation would already be too slow because it's looping over basically a section of the audio thousands to hundreds of times, depending on the different ones that you want to try, different pitches that you want to try to detect. And my method only loops over the audio twice. And then loops over a much, much smaller array, like one that's like 10% of the size once. And then filters out some of them and then loops over it one more time when it has like a very tiny handful of elements, like 10, one more time. So basically 4 loops, 2 on the full audio and 2 on a tiny, tiny array by comparison to the one that holds like this. Anyway, all this is so that we can detect what pitch you like are humming or singing or whistling at or something. And the thing is that if you would just make like a sound like ooh or, you know, whistling, then we wouldn't even need to do anything as complicated as this. We could just count the number of times this crosses the 0 line. But in reality, when you make a sound like this, oh, hang on, it's still recording from my headphones, which are no longer connected. If you make a sound like this, then when you look at the waveform, it's very messy and you can't just count the 0 crossings, and that's why you need the more advanced ways of doing it. I guess as long as there's that capacitor, you don't have to worry about DC bias, so you'll get your 0 crossings. A low pass filter will make it more difficult, I think. At least if you're going at a lower sample rate as well. I'm not sure that it would make it easier. Actually not sure. Listening to your voice soothes my soul. Really? Really? Is it not painful? You can low pass on the analog side. True. To like low pass like usefully at all, I'd have to, I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't want to build, I don't know, I probably need a dedicated chip for that because I'd want like a really sharp low pass filter. And, you know, whatever I'm going to be sampling at or lower. Because I don't aliasing, that will completely screw up pitch detection. Do you have to do an FFT? Nope. I guess I can go over it again really, really quickly. Since there are people here that are actually interested now. That's rude to the people who are, yeah. I'm sure there are a couple of people who are interested. Thank you for the past cabbage. You sound fine, do I? So the way it works is, firstly we go through just like the one window of audio first, a window being like, I don't know, 200, 400 little samples that you've captured. We can't have too many because, you know, we've only got 8 kilobytes of RAM to work with in total, so. And we're gonna have like a couple of frame buffers for the LCD, and one frame buffer is 500 and something bytes, I don't remember. Anyway, so we go through once, find the minimum and the maximum sample positions, so that would be the, and this is all unsigned, so, and it's not really caring about where the 0 crossing is. So this here, for example, that would be like the minimum, and that would be the maximum. And then we take 75% of the range. That's just a number that I plucked out of my anus. And could be tweaked, of course, but... Let's take a fucking screenshot. It's easier to do in Paint than it is on Audacity. So, here's our max. Here's our min. Uh, 75% of the way up would be like there. Can I draw, please? Can I draw in red, please? Can I draw in red and not super white, please? Somewhere around there. And so we decide that this is our threshold for detecting peaks. And a peak is where the waveform crosses from below the threshold to above the threshold. So a peak will get detected here, here. Let's just carry that line all the way across. Oh, okay, this is an unusually clean example. And actually it'll fail in this example right here because my way of doing it relies on catching every single peak. So this would actually fail because we miss this peak, which would, then it would detect this as the longest and then it would completely screw up everything else. So actually if we had the threshold lower, like here, then my example would work. We'd detect a peak there and there. Can we like draw in a way that it shows up? There, 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 there and there, there and there, there and there, there and there. And then what we do is we look for the longest distance between them. Let's say that that's this region right here, from this peak to this peak. And we take 75% of this distance. So here's our thing. So this, and 75% of the way across would be like there. So now this width here is becomes our another threshold, and we go through it one more time. So we've gone through it once, right? We've found our thresholds, and we go through it again, and we find the peaks. And at this point, we only have the list of positions of peaks. So this one might be like, you know, I don't know, 90 samples along. This might be like 180 samples. This might be like 278 AM. But I don't know. I'm just making up random flipping numbers. But we have an array of these peak positions at this point. We're no longer going to look at the waveform. We're just looking at these green lines here. And so now we go through the array of peaks, and anything that is below, like shorter, closer together than this, we remove from the array. We just set it to -1 actually, because we do. And the way I'm doing it currently is we do everything to the right of the longest thing first, and then we do everything to the left. But I don't think it actually affects the performance much if we just did it all in one giant pass from beginning to end. But currently we do it this way. We will keep this pass because it's long enough. We'll keep this pass because it's long enough. And we'll keep this one because it's long enough. This is too close, so we'll remove this. We'll remove this. And then we'll start timing from this one across to here. And that's long enough, so we'll keep that. Then this one to here is too short, so we'll remove that one and we'll start timing across from there to there. That one's long enough. That one to there is too short, so we'll remove that one. But we'll start timing from where it was over to there. That one's long enough, and this one's long enough, and that one's too short, so we'll remove that one. In the end, we're gonna have only this, 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 and this. And then we take the median of, well, we work out the interval between, the gap between each of these. So this, and we take the median of that. And here's results. Oh, we also, if it's like too quiet in the beginning, we skip it. And if there aren't enough okay intervals, then we skip that. You said you'll have to go soon. Yep, I will. I just wanted to go through how this works. It is not super foolproof. I can run it with some audio that gives an example of how it is in worse conditions. This might look really, really terrible at first. Look at all these giving up things, but a lot of these are actually either transients, where like the voice is suddenly bad starting, or they are like a what's the word? Like a sibilance, like s or k, all this stuff, which doesn't have an inherent pitch. So most of it's okay. This is the only like actually properly bad reading in here, where it detects that the pitch suddenly goes way down. So this here is the one really bad reading in all of these. And if you're wondering what this is that it's trying to do the pitch detection on, it's this, which is some random audio of a cool and cute, but should have you not say that, streamer named Koki, and it sounds like this.
Like, literally this week has been the first week that I've been able just to fucking, like...
It's like really fast speech that's going all over the place. And if you look at this, some of these samples are like much higher than the previous ones. So in this example, this would probably fail because we'd set the threshold to like somewhere around, you know, there maybe, and then we'd catch some of these and not the rest of. So this window would fail basically with how I'm doing it currently. But if you are trying to hold a note like blah, then most of the time, and you look at that in the waveform, most of the a region, if you take the maximum stuff, well, mind you, this is going to be, oh, this is 8 kilohertz. Okay, this is already low pass. Oh, my left ear enjoys that. Actually, my left ear hates it. My left ear wishes it was my right ear. And we take this over like a short period. I think I'm doing 400 in my code example. Then this is like the max, that's the min, so I'd choose like 75% or so as the threshold. And then what is actually the period of this? I think it's from here to here to here to here to here to here. Yeah. So this here is like the full loop from there to there. And these are the harmonics. And so well, let's just run it. Let's just see what happens if I run it on this in blah. I'm saving this as raw 8-bit on the side. So the actual pitch of this, if we just use the FFT, is somewhere around 290, 293 hertz. This is the audio.
Blah.
And now let's have it run on that in _blah.wav.raw, sorry. Wow, that didn't work well at all. Holy. I guess, yeah, wow, that was awful. Holy shit. Okay, well, that doesn't work at all. I'm guessing then that's because the harmonics are so high in there. Wait, is this one?
Blah.
Yeah, this is one. I'm guessing that's because the harmonics here are so strong that when it sets a threshold at 75%, there are regions where it's constantly catching this and this. Interesting. Would it catch the X4 harmonic in that case? Yeah, the problem is that the harmonics are the same. I think the main problem is that the harmonics, there are so many harmonics that it's like, well, how do I explain it? I think essentially the harmonics are louder than the roots. Yeah, they are. Which, I mean, is the whole point of pitch detection, that it's trying to detect what the root is, I guess. But because of the way that my thingy works, it's unfortunately catching, like, how do I explain it? This here is one full cycle. And there is not a long period of time between the first peak and the first peak of the next where there are not also harmonics. So basically, if there was this and this and this, and then a long period of silence here before it repeats, then it would successfully filter these much shorter peaks, because these peaks will be much closer together than 75% of the distance of like the entire cycle. I guess it's because the harmonics are so loud and the pitch is high. If I were to try to do the same at a lower pitch, I wonder. I didn't mean to play that, I'm sorry. If you look at it now. Oh, actually, this is interesting. It wouldn't work great here either. We might get a bit lucky. But there's actually not much more of a gap after these peaks. This might not work that well. I mean, it would be fine if you're humming. Like we discovered earlier, there's you know, if you're humming, there aren't many harmonics, like very loud harmonics, and you get a much easier shape to deal with. But yeah. What's the maximum pitch you want to detect? 2000? No, it would be sub 1000. Definitely sub 1000. The problem is how low a pitch I want to detect though. I think is probably a bigger problem. I have to filter harder and lower the sampling rate more. Lowering the sampling rate makes this like very confusing looking. I'm not quite sure how to explain. But if we resample this to say 2 kilohertz, this is gonna start to become, okay, in this example it's not that confusing. There is a more confusing shape that, yeah, whatever. Are we doing pitch detection? We were. I got to end stream. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry that everybody who's into pitch detection and is trying to give advice is now coming in, but I have to end the stream. I fucking hate this. I hate this so much. I wish I could stream when all of these cool and helpful peeps are here, but I got to end. It's 9 PM. I got to eat and shower. There's actually no time now for me to eat before I shower, so I'm just going to be going straight into the shower, unfortunately. I'll eat afterwards. And everyone else is in bed. However, if you would like to help, there is a Discord, which you could feel free to eat in the shower. Oh, eat the shower. Eat the shower. Oh, Freefall said eat in the shower. I'm really sorry. I fucking hate that I'm having to stop now. All the cool stuff happens at nighttime, but when I'm trying to keep my sleep schedule better, man, sometimes I wonder what the point of keeping my sleep schedule is. It means that I can't talk to any cool people, and I don't like see my friends much. But I get to be awake in the day. But I get depressed when my sleep schedule is really, really bad. Because then it feels like I'm constantly trying to... It feels like I'm not even getting enough sleep and such. But it already feels that way, so I don't know. Listen to the internal conflict here as I'm trying to work out whether I should just destroy my sleep schedule and keep going for another 4 hours. Thank you for the pat, Sesterton. I'm going to refund the saving the kidneys that someone did earlier that I couldn't do because the bathroom was in use. I sure hope I can do it now when I stop. 57 minutes ago from Geets. Okay, you're now refunded. 58 minutes. It changed to everyone else refunding it. Is that the only one? Yeah, and then Stewie.
Lactose-filled dairy product.
Why? Why cheese? Fortunately, we are so much more productive during the night. True, and I think it's to do with time zones as well. That other people are coming by now. So yeah, I guess this will just always be what my streams are like at this rate. I'll do a load of stuff off stream. And then tell it to people who are not interested on stream. and end stream. And as everyone's interested is coming in, I'm like, hi, I gotta go. Bye. Anyway, stay healthy, good sleep. Thank you. I'll try. But yeah, by the way, this is the first time I've seen this fail just now. I've tried it with a bunch of samples and that was the first one to fail, so I guess I'm glad that I saw that happening. I guess. I don't know how low a thing I'm gonna be able to detect. What did I set the threshold? 2? Wait, did I hard code this? What the number of peaks is? Oh, there it is. Oh, it was like dynamic based on the window length. Okay. Huh. Never mind. It's a little less hard-coded than I thought. I mean, it's based on another thing that's hard-coded, but you only change one of the things and this should become a sensible value. Thank you for the waveforms. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm gonna do a thing. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna stop putting this off. I need to end the stream. Maybe I'll fuck around and find out if the microphones are broken. / I am still so incompetent that I can't get any of them working. Off stream. And yeah, not now though. Not tonight. Some other time. Tomorrow is gonna be. Well, tomorrow's a little bit busy. I also have to stream with Myriad. I have to stream. It's gonna be fun. It was flipping fun last time, and it's gonna be fun again, I'm sure. We're gonna be playing Half-Life 2 with the Synergy mod, which enables multiplayer. Also, for the Acetin. And unfortunately, it's gonna start in the place that I always get lost in. The flipping airboat part. I told him I'll get lost there, and sure enough, guess what happened? Whoops. I got lost. And then Monday's gonna be really busy as well. I probably won't have time to do it on Monday, but maybe Tuesday. Unfortunately, we're so much more productive at night. Yes, I read that like 15 minutes ago. I don't know why I decided to read it again. I'm gonna rate anyone. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Twitch.tv. Twitch.tv. Yeah, okay, there I started. Uni is on. Setlinks is on. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? I don't have to repeat myself more times. Hurry up and load Twitch. Okay, it's loaded. Virtual's on. Let's just raid into a stream with 9,300 viewers. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, VR Dancing is on. VR Dancing soon is gonna be doing their yearly Marshall-thon. This is starting on Friday, where they basically, as a community, there's like, you know, like shifts that will take over and take over. So like, you know, one group of people and another group and another group. Over the course of 36 hours non-stop as a group. Exercise / dance to a huge set of songs. All the time, raising money for a travel project. But that's not happening yet. If it were like near the end of August and that were happening, I would be ready into them right now. But it's not. I just saw them online. That's why I was mentioning it. That's the thing I do every year. Raising money for charity. First time I see 3D UK. Really? Really? Holy crap. Really? Interesting. Always seen 2D UK. Ah, you must have often come in when I was doing like actual proper electronic stuff with a camera. Usually I'm like this, although recently I have been doing more electronic stuff, so it's been without the without the webcam. Following for 16 days. I can read numbers. Was I? Yeah. Because I've been doing a lot of STM32 stuff over the last 16 days. Why? DJ Trico is on? I do not know that person. Only been here less than a month, so I'm still fresh here. Yeah, no worries, no worries. That wasn't meant to be a judgment. Also, whenever I see the name, the command name follow age, I always read it as followage. Like sewage. Because I care about you. Wait, what? You threw cheese because you care? Oh, they're also DJing in VR chat. I see. Ah! Oh my goodness. Sorry. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Thank you for being here, Marky. Thank you everybody for being here. I'm sorry that I didn't really do anything. Well, actually, that's not true. I did fix my streaming setup, but I didn't realize it was broken until like a bunch of people very, very kindly resubbed, and then very, very disappointingly, the fireworks sound did not play. So yeah, that's fixed because I broke it while adding support for another notification, which maybe one day will be triggered and we'll see it. But yeah, it's not question mark. I thought followage was a word. No, it's not. It's like follow age, like the how long you've been following. At least it's something, right? It is. And yeah, and the I wish I could keep streaming now and we could like try things out. But yeah, oh right, the reason I wanted to get the mic working is because I wanted to put this onto the STM32, the little microcontroller, and see if it would actually work, you know, actually make a noise with my mouth. Thank you for the pad 6, yeah. And see if I can get the pitch detection working on the real hardware and have it like, I don't know, draw a number on the LCD. I realize I won't be able to do that yet because I haven't implemented texturing on the LCD. I've still got to add that to the LCD library I'm making. I forgot about that. I remembered it at some other time, but I never remember what I could be streaming when I'm wanting to stream. I remember it when it's nighttime and I'm trying to sleep. Go shower. I should. I gotta save the kidneys as well. I actually need to now. Alright, who can I pass you on to? There is someone who's showing up in live channels right now, which I guess is what Twitch now calls recommended channels. They're just called live channels. And amusingly, they're playing a game called Peak. And I was kind of just trying to do peak detection. So, fun. I doubt the game is about writing pitch detection algorithms though, sadly. So, clearly an inferior game. I don't know what the game is, so I'm just being silly. Go eat that shower. I hear it's delicious. I hear it hydrates you well. Right, I'm sorry. People are literally telling me to go. I need to go. By people, I mean you people. Fixing bugs in the shower. maybe I'll get a thought of how to solve that. There is well, it wouldn't really. How would I don't think even dynamically adjusting the threshold would work for that last one that I saw. How would I do it? It's like all about detecting repeating patterns, which FFT is so good at, but anyway, alright, I'm gone. I'm sorry. I'm gone. I'm gonna be thinking about this. You can tell I'm gonna be thinking deep in thought about this while I'm in the shower. Let me just quickly see if any close friends are gonna be, who are not currently streaming, are going to be streaming soon. Now I can stop. Okay, fine. I'm gonna go. It doesn't look like they are. So I won't wait for them to start. Holy crap. Why? What are the odds?
Cheese.
Oh, did I work
Formaggio.
out the bug? The you shall perform great thinkation. I'm gonna go and save the kidneys now. I'm gonna refund you because I was already gonna do that. You don't have to pay for that, Stu. I will do a posture check and hydration. Stop! Okay, I'm gonna pass you on to somebody. Here's where we're going. Nope.
Fromage.
Here's where we're going. We're going to uni. Yeah. We're going there. To there. Fan art, stream, and hangout. Fan art, stream, and hangout. Wait, really? You telling me I could slide into her stream as well? and delay the shower even more.
Cheese.
Okay, no. Uni is also an artist. I don't know how I found myself in a friend. Whoops, wrong one. Stretching. Oh, sorry. I don't know how I found myself in a friend group with so many artists when I can't draw to save my life unless it's like pixel art and I'm trying to draw the long uke, I guess. I mean, it took me long enough to be able to draw that. Also, the resolution has to be very low before I feel remotely confident that I could draw it. Anyway, alright, okay. Look, the raid is counting down. I gotta ramble.